Don't trust your eyes uncritically. People only see what they want to. So don't be your own fool.
Do you think the others are making good progress? Hope it's all going smoothly. Oh, hey look! They made it back as well! Prince! Lama! How did it all go?
All is well, thank you. Nefer and Yehoda had to stay at the curatorium to wrap things up, so they won't be joining us for now.
I ran into Miss Anefa and Miss Aino on the way back. Their work is still in progress, so I suspect they won't be back for a while either.
You seem rather cheerful today, Mr. Flintz.
I certainly am. I achieved what I set out to do and came away with more than I bargained for. Fighting alone can get quite tedious, but I had the good fortune to run into a pair of brave young warriors.
We meet again. How have you been?
Albedo! What are you doing here?
Thankfully, tracking you down turned out to be a lot simpler than we envisaged.
These two courageously lent me a hand while I was fighting the Wild Hunt. When they told me they were Servarka's colleagues, it all made sense. And given how people of outstanding talent tend to cross paths, it's no wonder you're already acquainted.
So, who's your travel buddy, Albedo?
Why don't you come and introduce yourself?
A gentleman of few words, I see. And a rather stern countenance. I presumed you were acquainted with him. Is that not the case?
It's nice to meet you. Again. We've technically met before.
Wait a sec! You're Minnie Durin!
That's right. It's me. I'm glad to see you again.
By the way, he says it's okay if you drop the mini.
Yeah, I'm not as mini as I used to be.
Interesting, isn't it? The first step towards blending into human society appears to be reflecting on whether one's name really reflects who they are.
Wow! You look so different! In a good way, of course. It's great to see you looking so healthy.
Thank you, Paimon. And although you're as mini as ever, I understand that diminutives don't always convey endearment. I'll be sure to simply call you Paimon as a sign of my great respect for you.
Wow! You're such a smooth talker now. Paimon could get used to this. From now on, you may refer to her as your esteemed guide, Paimon.
Personally, I think our little Paimon is the perfect size. When people call her Little Paimon, it's just because she's so adorable that they can't help themselves. If that's not a sign of endearment, what is?
You're absolutely right, Miss Lauma. My brother still has a long road ahead of him when it comes to understanding human relationships.
Anyway, speaking of long journeys, didn't Columbina, leave with you? How come she isn't back yet?
She's been catching up with old friends. Wouldn't be surprised if she stopped for a cup of tea or 10 on the way back.
Uh-oh. People are talking about me. Hope it's nothing negative.
Judging from your expressions, I'm guessing it all went well?
It's getting crowded here. I'll go grab some chairs.
No need. This is a job for an alchemist. I'll whip some up momentarily.
Thank you for your hospitality, ladies and gentlemen, but I was merely escorting my friends back. I'll be meeting Sandrone shortly, as we still have some things to discuss. It's been a pleasure, everyone. But this is where I'll say goodbye.
We really appreciate your help.
Oh, come on. Spare the formalities. I'm just glad I could help out some true friends.
I understand. Well, bye for now, Harlequino.
Oh, this place is hopping. It's probably a good thing one of us left. Otherwise, we might not fit all these people in.
Are you saying we're about to run out of chairs?
As a matter of fact, I am. Come on in and see for yourself.
I overheard your little chit-chat outside, by the way. With Miss Columbina's colleague gone, we should be back to the original crew plus the other colleagues I brought in. Though, it looks like we have another new face. Someone else managed to rope in a colleague too?
Frankly, you and Paimon are the only people I know here.
This here is Deansliff, colleague of Tibet's greatest guide, Paimon, and greatest adventurer, the Traveler. Well, not exactly colleagues, more sort of friends.
When someone else jumps in to do the announcing, you know you're speaking to someone important.
Let's hear what he has to say.
Note to self. Once Paimon knows your name, the rest of the world will soon follow.
When he comes looking for us, it's usually something important. Paimon's guessing you've heard about the Wild Hunt, then.
From the looks of it, you're about to hold a meeting. If I were to say that the Wild Hunt is our mutual enemy, would that earn me a seat at the table?
As the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Mr. Dainsliff, there's a seat with your name on it. Though, I can't promise the same for everyone else. Hey, Albedo, think you can rustle up a couple more chairs?
After all this time apart, Grandmaster Varka's first order is to rustle up a couple more chairs. I've missed this.
Is he being sarcastic?
Hey, he's your brother. Why are you asking us?
I've still got a lot to learn about the nuances of human conversation. Trying to decipher Albedo's way of speaking has been like jumping in at the deep end.
Oh, good point. Paimon gets you now. Don't sweat it. There are people who go their whole lives without getting the hang of it. You're ahead of the game already.
I wonder what's taking Nefer so long.
Perhaps you should go and check in with her. If anyone can hurry her along, it's you.
I just got back from the curatorium. Besides, aren't you curious to see what's taking her so long?
Miss Nefer doesn't strike me as the type to share secrets. And since gathering intel is her specialty, I'm guessing she'd prefer to keep her methods confidential. Under such circumstances, would it not be tactless for me to impose?
Oh, but it's fine for me to impose.
What can I say? You have an unrivaled ability to garner people's affection, Miss Moonchanter. Besides, you have far more in common with her than I do.
All right then.
Impressive. She barely fought back at all. I admire your powers of persuasion, my friend.
As I'm sure Miss Lauma will realize soon enough, the trick in life is to always pitch in with other people's responsibilities so that you can be selective with your own.
Another trick is to simply hide in the background.
Spoken like a true sage.
Anyway, looks like we've got some time to kill before the meeting. Let's take a little breather, folks, and feel free to chat amongst yourselves. We'll get down to business once the other two arrive.
You're both awfully quiet. Why don't I start us off with an icebreaker?
Much obliged.
Have either of you ever had your portrait painted? If not, I'd be glad to help.
That sounds like a lovely idea. You know how to paint, then?
I dabble occasionally.
He's an excellent painter. Tables, chairs, people, dragons, you name it. He'll paint it for you.
I'm flattered.
If I ever get the chance, I'd like to give it a try myself.
I'll bear that in mind. Anyway, how about you, Durin? What sort of portrait would you prefer?
Oh, I'd be fine with anything. Whatever style feels best to you.
Very well. Then I'll play it by ear.
You can replicate any style I want.
I can try. If you show me a sample, I'll do my best to match it.
Thank you. In that case, I'll dig up some reference material for you.
Truth be told, I can't remember the last time I was in a meeting with so many people.
You're not alone there, my friend. The Lightkeepers also struggle to bring everyone together for a serious discussion.
I don't doubt that. I've only ever met two Ratniki, one being you, and the other being that young guy, Itlua.
Itlua is a good apple. I'll give him that. He's kind, honest, and regularly delivers supplies to my lighthouse. A true Ratnik to the core. In that sense, he puts me to shame.
So you're what? A fake Ratnik? That's what it sounds like you're saying. But I get the feeling that's not quite what you meant. Come on, why the awkward silence?
Sorry. I'm not even gonna bother trying to hide it. You've known all along, haven't you, my friend? Now that was an awkward silence.
Let's just keep this between ourselves. Probably best if Itlua doesn't know, huh?
That goes without saying. Gotta be careful what you share with youngsters, after all.
Anyone else in the know? Let me guess. The Traveler and Paimon?
It's dangerous being too sharp for one's own good, you know.
Then, in the name of the Animo Archon Barbados himself, I swear, your secret's safe with me.
When we went for drinks, you said that you and Barbados were practically best buds. In the light of that claim, do you really expect me to take your oath seriously?
Of course. Just as long as you don't go spreading around the fact that I'm close with Barbados, all right?
Fair enough, then. Nothing like a bit of mutual leverage to seal the bonds of friendship.
Is there something you'd like to say to me?
Yeah! For starters, why'd you just show up here without even giving us a heads up?
If you think back to our previous interactions, you may recall that that's hardly out of character for me.
You do have a point there. Oh yeah, you'll need to find somewhere to stay the night too, right? Want to tag along with us? You never know. We might get a group discount.
Sure, let's do that.
Great! Paimon will handle it. And in return, we can get Dainsleif to be our very own personal bodyguard.
If that's what you had in mind, you should have said so sooner. I'd be happy to help.
Oh, okay then. Paimon was only kidding, but good to know. Anyway, since we're all here together, we might as well watch each other's backs. That's just what friends do, right?
Indeed. Thank you.
Ah, Miss Nefer. You made it after all. But what about Yehoda?
I'm here to give you an update on how things are going on our end. Once this is over, I'll be heading straight back to continue my work. I left Yehoda back at the Curatorium to watch over things while I'm gone.
Huh. So much for just this once.
Shh! Not so loud! We're on a roll here. What if she remembers and suddenly decides to back out?
Did you say something, Mr. Varka?
Huh? I didn't say anything. Right, Flints?
Must have been a frog. They get so noisy around here at nighttime. It's like they're putting on a concert in the background.
Anyway, before we begin, there's a few introductions to make. Let me start by saying that it's an honor to be speaking before so many distinguished colleagues and collaborators. First up, we have Miss Lauma. As Moon Chanter, she's the leader of the Frost Moon Scions, a local religious community in Nodkrai. Then there's Miss Nefer, boss of the Curatorium of Secrets, an intel gatherer extraordinaire. Nefer is leading the investigation into Rerer's background, assisted by Yehoda and Lauma. From the little I've heard, they're making some great progress. Over here, we have Mr. Flintz, a ratnik and guardian of the abandoned lighthouse. In our last operation, he courageously distracted the Wild Hunt to buy time for the rest of us. For those of you who've never met, this is Mr. Albedo, a renowned alchemist and captain of the Knights of Favonius investigation team. By his side is a new face for us all, myself included, Mr. Durin, who has come to lend his aid. Next up, we have the Moon Maiden and former Fatui Harbinger, Miss Columbina. Then we have the Traveler, who's earned more titles than I could possibly hope to list out, so I'll spare you the rundown. And Paimon, the ultimate travel companion and quite possibly the best guide in all of Tevat.
Wow! That's a lot of people! Great turnout!
Miss Nefer, it looks like you might have another job coming your way, so, congratulations on the booming business, I guess.
You think I haven't got enough on my hands as it is? Who's looking for me now?
That would be me, Miss Nefer. I have a commission for you.
And you are?
Who I am doesn't matter right now. What does matter is that I'd like you to gather more intelligence about the Recher of Solnari.
Well, it's not as if we never take on anonymous commissions. But in your case, I'll have to decline. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say your job's probably more hassle than it's worth. Something about you seems like bad news.
It's my eyes, isn't it?
Conrian, I assume. And what's with the mask? Are you trying to hide your identity? In any case, the fact that you're even still alive raises an awful lot of questions for me.
My name is Dainsleif. And yes, I am from Conria. As I'm sure you're aware, the Recher of Solnari's real name is Rerir. He was once an acquaintance of mine.
Really? Then you must have been quite an influential figure yourself.
You flatter me, but none of that matters anymore. My point was simply to clarify why I have asked Miss Nefer to investigate Rerir's background.
So you're both from Conria, and it sounds like you used to be friends? What am I missing here? Surely you already know how he became one of the Five Sinners.
I'll tell you everything I know. The history of Conria, the names and identities of the Five Sinners. I remember it all like it was yesterday. I have never spoken openly of this before. But the truth was exactly as people say. The Five Sinners were each driven by their own desires, and it was by playing upon these that the Abyss tempted them to their fall, tearing Conria apart in the process. The Visionary, Vedifenir, who wished to foretell the future. The Wise, Haroptatir, who sought limitless knowledge. Gold, Rhindaughter, who desired to create life. The Foul, Surtologi, who pursued supreme strength. And last, but not least, Recher of Solnari, Rerir, Ravager of the Moon. Of the five, Rerir is the only one who remains a mystery to me. He never harbored grand ambitions. So what changed in the space of a single night? How did he come to fall like the others?
In other words, you're saying that his change came as a shock to you, and you have no idea what actually happened?
That's right.
You mentioned how the Abyss tempted them, which led to their fall. But what did that look like in practice? And what other context can you give me about the events of that time? The more detail you can give me, the better.
Strangely, now that it comes to it, I hardly know where to begin. The fateful night took place during the era of the Eclipse Dynasty. One day, my elder brother, the Visionary, Vedifenir, was summoned to the palace by the Vinster King, only for the king to gouge out his eyes and cast him into the dungeons. When I came to hear of this, my fury knew no bounds. I gathered together every ally I thought I had, and together, we set a night to storm the palace and free Ved. Centuries on, the memories of that night still haunt me, like a never-ending nightmare. We broke through the palace gates, just like we had planned, each striking towards our separate targets. But then, I was betrayed. Even Vedifenir, the very person I had come to rescue, abandoned me and partook of the Abyss's power.
So, it's personal after all. Then tell me, Mr. Dainsleif, what price are you willing to pay? You, of all people, must know that nothing comes for free.
I cannot say what price would be worthy of such a commission. But know this. Rerir was not always a madman. Believe it or not, there was a time when he was just an ordinary man, working for the Conrian Intelligence Service. Uncovering the truth of Rerir's past is the only way to unravel this mystery. But before you decide if you will accept my commission, I will tell you more about him. Enough, I hope, to help you plan your next move.
Sounds pretty good to me. Feels like we just flagged down a random passerby, only to discover he's actually a master strategist who has a score to settle with our enemy.
Can I borrow your halo? It could be useful in the lighthouse.
Hey, enough with the wisecracks! Besides, isn't that lamp of yours bright enough already?
Relax. It was meant to be a compliment. If that was a little over the top for your liking, I'll make sure to tone it down next time.
I'll give your proposal some serious thought, Mr. Dainsleif. Let's speak in private once the meeting is over.
Before that, there's a few things I'd like to share.
Now that we've united the hearts of the three moons, your power should be greatly enhanced. But it seems like that hasn't happened yet?
I believe it will take a little longer. You've done so much for me, so I want to be completely honest with you all. Even though I'm doing a lot better now, the truth is, my recovery will likely be an ongoing process. From the moment I was born, my power has been slowly ebbing away. And that is because Tevat has never accepted me. Even with the moons united as one, it seems my rejection cannot be undone. So far, I have yet to find a solution. It may turn out to be a problem that will plague me until the day I finally leave this place behind. Even so, I will do everything in my power to help you drive out the Ray here of Solnari. As Arlecchino put it, this is not about chasing the spoils of victory. It's just a gesture of heartfelt gratitude.
Kutar.
Defeating the Ray here of Solnari will be no easy task. While my strength slowly recovers, we'll also need to gather more intel.
Naturally. We should take all the help we can get if we hope to defeat him.
We've considered several viable plans now, but our choice hinges on the answers to a few key questions. Is it even possible to kill Rerir? What experiences shaped the person or monster he became? And what's he really after? Given Albedo's expertise in alchemy, I think we should leave him to try and answer the first of these questions.
Understood.
As for the other two, I'm afraid we'll have to count on you again, Miss Nefer. Believe me when I say it's not my wish to burden you. But right now, relying on your skills is our only option.
So you're placing all your hopes on me, huh?
We can't thank you enough for agreeing to help us. Honestly, I can hardly believe how lucky we are.
You sure have a talent for changing your tune, Miss Moonchanter. Timid like Yehoda one moment, then Flintz's insincere flattery the next.
Ladies, please. I must object to your portrayal of me. That's all. Feel free to keep bickering. Just pretend I'm not here.
I almost don't want to leave this room. I'm curious to see how this plays out.
I have faith in you, Miss Nefer. Something tells me you'll stand by us until the very end.
Oh? And what makes you so sure of that? What if I suddenly decide that my compensation is insufficient?
This isn't about the money. I can sense that you've got a deep-seated distaste for Rerir. And knowing you, that alone is motive enough.
Look at them getting along so well. Like two peas in a pod.
And I'm the one they accuse of insincere flattery. There is no justice.
Miss Lauma, you have to understand something. Unlike you, I don't actually enjoy having everyone's hopes on my shoulders.
Is that right? Well, maybe the fact that I'm willing to put my hopes in other people says more about me than you. But the fact is, I also trust you. And that's because I know that you're someone we can count on.
Anyway, we've got our plan, so let's get moving. Mr. Dainsleif, let's talk. And Traveler, once we're finished, if you've nothing else planned, I'd like you to come with me.
This whole experience is teaching me a lot. For instance, I now know that when other issues come up in the future, I'll have far more luck getting Lauma to convince Miss Nefer than trying to do it myself.
Hate to say it, friend, but that's one of the funniest things I've heard in a while.
Why? You think I've got it wrong?
Quite the opposite. But what makes it so hilarious is how long it's taken you to realize.
Thank you for waiting.
That's okay. We actually used the time to help Dainsleif get a room at the hotel.
That's very considerate of you. Now, I trust you share my curiosity about Rerir's past, and you seem fairly familiar with Mr. Dainsleif already. We spoke at some length after the meeting. He was the one who suggested I should invite you to join this operation. He feels confident that these secrets will be safe with you.
Dane has a lot of faith in us, that's for sure.
Likewise. I appreciate that you got right on board without interrogating me about why I invited you. It shows that you trust me to explain everything in due course.
That's because we know what you're capable of. We appreciate you too, Nefer. You might have been forced to help in the beginning, but this time, it was your choice.
That's one way to put it. Another is this, that once a decision's been made, it's set in stone. After that, my only goal is to see it through. Alright, so here's how it is. I'm going to access Rerir's thoughts again using my confidential method. Now, I'm sure you've seen things like this before on your travels, so you're surely well aware of how dangerous it can be. The reason I've gathered you all here is to ensure my safety during the proceedings. I plan for us to enter the fragment of his consciousness together, and once inside, I will focus on searching for information. Think of this as a diving expedition into someone's brain. If I'm the diver, you are my safety equipment, tasked with keeping me alive while I'm under the surface. Once the ceremony begins, we will all be spying on privileged information. But in the interests of safety, you must remain absolutely silent at all times. We will discuss our observations after the ceremony has concluded. Lastly, any individuals of a weaker constitution are advised not to partake in the ceremony. In any case, Paimon has her own job to do, which requires staying in the room but not joining the ceremony.
Well, good luck, everyone! Sounds like all Paimon can do is cross her fingers and root for you guys.
There's a little more to it than that. I was being serious when I said you have a job to do. While the rest of us are inside Rarir's mind, it's imperative that we have a team member on the outside. In the event that something goes wrong, you will be our first responder. I don't anticipate any issues, but the extra level of safety will be greatly appreciated.
I second that. This is a dangerous operation here, and you're our whole rescue team. That's pretty much the most important job in the crew.
So, Paimon's like the lifeguard? Yeah, that makes sense. All right, got it.
Good. Please, take a seat. We'll get started momentarily.
So, did Mr. Dainsliff tell you anything else?
He told me that he believes Rarir kept some big secrets in his life. He's not sure that they were the cause of his eventual downfall, but he's asked me to uncover what those secrets were all the same.
But surely you're not planning to go through with this, no matter the cost.
If you think that, you'd be overestimating me. I'm a businesswoman, not a mercenary. But I do have my own professional reasons for taking this job. You think I'd turn down the opportunity to get a first-hand glimpse into Conrian history? No chance.
Well, as long as you don't let morbid curiosity get in the way of safety concerns, we're good. We'll do whatever we can to help you.
You're such a killjoy.
All right, I'm good to go.
All set over here, too.
Promise, Paimon, you'll be extra careful.
All right. Let your whole body relax. We're about to begin. Close your eyes. Phew. Could this be his office? Pretty standard setup. Bookshelves, paperwork, files. According to Dainsliff, Rarir used to be an intelligence operative. Chances are there's plenty of top secret intel stashed away in this room. Is this where you keep your secrets, Rarir? Can't say I'm not looking forward to this. He looks even gloomier than last time. I wonder what's changed.
Today's files are in. Time to wade through them, just like usual. Male, 51. Occupation, cook. Confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has maintained frequent contact with other descendants over the past year. Poses a threat to the dynasty. Neutralized. This one should be archived under purged targets. Female, 23. Occupation, office clerk. Confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has maintained frequent contact with other descendants over the past year. Poses a threat to the dynasty. Neutralized. Another one for purged targets. Sounds like she was that other man's daughter. Never mind. What's it got to do with me? Male, 40. Occupation, teacher. Confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has been observed making contact with other descendants during the past year. Poses a threat to the dynasty. Neutralized on... Just another nobody for the archive. Come to think of it, I remember surveilling this man. A case like his never would have been considered a priority in the past. Huh. He barely even interacted with other Crimson Moon descendants. Female, 16. Occupation, none. Orphan and confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has been observed making contact with other descendants during the past year. Poses a threat to the dynasty. Neutralized on... Filed. I have no recollection of this girl. None whatsoever. She doesn't seem to be anyone important, but then again, how many of them really are? Female, 13. Occupation, none. Orphan and confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has been observed making contact with other descendants during the past year. Poses a threat to the dynasty. Neutralized on... Filed. Male, 11. Occupation, none. Orphan and confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has not been observed making any contact with other descendants during the past year. Poses a threat to the dynasty. Neutralized on... Male. 6. Occupation, none. Orphan and confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Poses a threat to the dynasty.
It's funny, isn't it? Your job is becoming both harder and easier at the same time, depending on how you look at it. Sooner or later, the Crimson Moon descendants will be completely wiped out. But as their numbers dwindle, they become harder and harder to track down.
That's not how it is.
Fortunately, however, most of the able-bodied adults have already been taken care of. The remaining weaklings will be increasingly easy to deal with.
No! No. My job is to ensure the survival of the Eclipse Dynasty. And the only way to do that is by eliminating any and all potential threats. It's a perfectly legitimate line of work. Every single one of my colleagues can attest to my fairness. And if my friends were aware of the facts, I know they'd back me up too. Assuming, of course, that they were aware of all the facts. Mr. Vedifalnir? It's been quite some time since we last met.
Revier, I trust you're here because you have something important to discuss.
Forgive me. I wasn't tuning out, it's just, I noticed you didn't even phrase that as a question. As if you knew I was coming. Tell me, does someone in your position ever feel the need to ask questions at all?
It is indeed within my power to foresee certain things. Things like your arrival.
I was just thinking. It won't be long before I'll be inviting both you and Dane to my wedding.
That isn't a lie, but nor is it a fact as such. It's a wish, isn't it?
No fooling a prophet, is there?
Ever since that day we met for drinks, I knew it was only a matter of time before you came looking for me.
Does it feel good? Knowing how the future will unfold.
I'm afraid the notions of good and bad fail to capture the complexity of what such a power entails. Once you've seen what will come to pass, it can be all too easy to succumb to fear and melancholy. Unless, of course, you learn to abandon these feelings. You fear my silence, and long to hear the words I left unspoken that day.
That's right.
You must have noticed my reluctance to broach the subject. And the reason is simple. Because the truth could never have lived up to your hopes. For both our sakes, such words are better left unsaid. The burden of prophecy was never meant for your shoulders.
So who exactly do you deem worthy to hear your prophecies? None but our exalted king?
Or rather, our king as he once was.
You're closer to his majesty than I am. You must know better than anyone how much he's changed.
You say that as though it is to my benefit. Yet precisely because of that, I dare not speak rashly. A king can turn out to be the most virtuous of rulers, or a tyrant more terrible than the most vicious of dragons.
You are so wise and far-sighted, yet still you would have me live in fear of the unknown?
You make a fair point. Especially given my silence alone was all it took to send you spiraling downwards. Very well then. Let me offer you some advice. And I say this not as a prophet or a visionary, but simply as the brother of your friend. For many reasons, there is very little chance of your marriage ending in happiness. If happiness is what you seek, you should find another fiancé.
Hold on. There's that same black fog again. Could this memory belong to Thelindis? Guess I better tread carefully.
Wait. Hear me out. This time we finally got a clear look at his face and learned his true identity. His name is Rayrir, and he claims to be one of the king's guards.
What did you say?
A cruel irony, isn't it? The man you're set to marry leads a double life as a brutal executioner.
Why are you telling me all of this now?
Simple. It's because I want you to kill him. You are the only person he would never suspect.
No, absolutely not. I would never dream of doing such a despicable thing.
So you'll just stand by and watch him slaughter us to the last? Do not forget that the blood of the Crimson Moon flows in your veins too.
The blood of the Crimson Moon? What does that matter now? The dynasty has long been dead and gone. You think that alone is reason enough for me to throw away everything I have?
Why wouldn't it be? You two were once a child of the Crimson Moon, just like me. Don't tell me you've never felt so much as a flicker of fury for the way we were trampled into the dust.
As long as you promise to abandon this pipe dream of restoring your dynasty, I can try to persuade him. Or have him persuade the Vinster King.
Persuade the Vinster King? Do you even know why he's so obsessed with hunting us down? Why he keeps trying to force us to hand over our secrets over and over again? Or why we refuse to give up on restoring the dynasty? The Vinster King. A blind fool. His eyes clouded by powers from beyond this world. A petty little man with a miser's heart. And he dares to sit upon the throne? Mark my words. Sooner or later, Conria will fall. And it will be his doing. If you can't bring yourself to do it, so be it. Just you watch.
It won't be long before calamity descends upon us all.
The Rehir of Solnari. That really is quite a secret you've been keeping from me, Rerir. But who am I to talk? Am I really any better? I've kept my own past a secret this whole time, too. Love should be built on honesty. But ours was born from lies. And yet... is it really so wrong to hide things that would only make life harder? If we don't cover up the parts that no one else should see, how can we go on pretending to be normal? Vedifulnir must have known all this. And that's why he made his prophecy. In the end, nothing stays hidden forever. But I won't just sit by and watch this disaster unfold. I'll do everything in my power to protect what I cannot afford to lose, no matter who I have to face.
Huh? Was that Rerir who just walked past the window? Doesn't it give you the chills that he still takes the same road to work every day? As if nothing ever happened.
Those people at the deli.
Enough already. They're clearly pretty taken by their own disguises, so just smile and play along. Pull the rug from under beasts like that, and you'll risk having your throat torn out.
Deli? Oh. They're talking about those people from the opposition. Right. I'd almost forgotten they used to run a deli. People of no consequence always vanish so easily. And no one even remembers them.
But surely you can see he's not the man he pretends to be! So many have died already, and they say that the king's madness grows with each passing day. We're not going to survive this, are we? But why does it have to be this way? Do we really deserve to die just because of the blood that runs through our veins? Valendis, are you even listening?
Sorry, Freether. My mind was off wandering. I heard you, though. You're talking about what Rerir said. He's just following the king's orders. He's a secret agent, and it's his job to hunt down rebels and dissidents.
By the time you first met him, he'd already taken lives. Maybe he was using you from the very beginning.
No. Rerir has no idea I have anything to do with the Crimson Moon. My family are only distant relatives of the main lineage, and besides, my eyes are perfectly ordinary. Truth be told, apart from my teacher, pretty much no one knows I have any connection to any of it. It's been a long time since my family severed ties.
But as Orlog said, who could possibly talk sense into that raving lunatic of a king? No one.
I'll work something out. Trust me, I'm with you all. But for now, you need to keep yourselves hidden. Don't let anyone find you, anyone at all. Don't forget that Rerir is an Eclipse operative. You need to be extra careful when he's around. And when I am too. For now, don't come looking for me. And if anything happens to me, just act like we've never met.
If even you can't escape this, what hope do the rest of us have? But after all this time together, surely he wouldn't lay a hand on you.
I won't speak in his defense, nor can I give you a clear answer to that question. But I'll do everything I can to put an end to this. Here, hold on to this. If an opportunity to escape presents itself, take it. You'll be glad you took some spare change.
You call that change? But what about you?
I've got a job, and there's still money coming in. But you can't go anywhere right now. Please think about yourself for once.
And Another day, another round of assassination training. Training ground is just beyond this hidden passageway.
When you kill a person, doesn't it bother you when you end up covered in their blood?
Why would it? Aren't we all just walking blood bags?
But not everyone is accustomed to hunting down others like prey. You've been a hunter for so long now, you seem to have forgotten that most people don't just go around killing one another.
Leave me alone. Make sure you have a firm grip on the handle. Then choose your angle well. Keep your movements light and brisk. And the prey won't sense a thing.
I know that. I'll let no one sense the quiet death at your hands.
I work clean. No traces.
That doesn't make it open across board, though. The king just happens to let you right now. What if someday he doesn't?
That won't happen.
Instead, ever since he fell under the spell of that power, in the beginning, he only had you take out a handful of the guilty. And now,
The ones I've dealt with have always been guilty. And I've carried out my work flawlessly.
you know why Olympus didn't accept your proposal, don't you? Was it because she didn't trust you? Or something else?
Enough!
Delindis, do you still remember Orlog?
Orlog.
The boy who was pretending to sell flowers. You spoke for quite a while, didn't you?
Yes, we did. What about him?
He was arrested 2 days ago. Chances are he's already dead.
He...
I just don't get it! After everything he's done, why do you still stand by him? Or does it mean nothing to you that people keep dying?
No, that's not... Just hear me out.
I need to go now, Thelindis. They're looking for us. You take care too. If you ever need a place to hide, come find us.
Author Thelindis. Over the course of this week, the research object was subjected to interference for a total of 47 hours for experimental purposes. The results are as follows. All subjects of observation that were sent inside have now... The situation within is proving more problematic than anticipated. No progress whatsoever. What now? Won't you give me even a glimmer of hope? Things are getting worse by the day. I have to find a way or we'll all be in danger. But I... If all this research comes to nothing, what then? Sooner or later, it'll be my neck on the line. But could he really bring himself to kill me? No. Surely he wouldn't have the heart.
Why won't you just let us go? We don't even know each other. All we want is to live ordinary, peaceful lives.
You want to live?
Yes. I just want to go on living. Is that really such an unforgivable crime?
You want to go on living. I want to keep living too. To keep living forever. That's why I have no choice but to continue on the path I'm on. If only some savior would suddenly swoop down and change the way the world is. Too bad that's not going to happen. Imagine that. If there really were such a person, you and I wouldn't be standing here like this, would we? Today's files are in. Time to wade through them just like usual. No, I don't get tired of it. It's my job. And not only am I lucky to have it, I'm good at it too. Huh. Wait. That's... Thalindis? No. No! No! Why? But you bear no mark of the Crimson Moon. How could you possibly have anything to do with them? It cannot be! A diluted bloodline. Carefully concealed. I see it now. You've been living in the shadows just like me. What a fool I've been. Numbing myself with talk of justice. Even imagining my friends would back me up. But in the end, Irminsul. Finster King! How far are you going to take this? From the direct bloodline to secondary offshoots? And then what? Today it's the descendants of the Crimson Moon. Who will it be tomorrow? Will you not rest until everyone down here is dead? No. This cannot go on. This is where it ends.
You're really letting me go?
I am. As long as you can guarantee that no one will find you.
Don't worry, I'll be extra careful. No one will know I was here. But... what about you?
Me?
If you let me go, you won't be able to complete your mission, will you?
Good point. In that case, maybe you should stay.
No, please! I just want to see the outside world again. To...
Go on living?
Yes. I know you're a man of your word. So please, just let me go.
If I let you leave, what will become of me? Just kidding. Go, now. But remember, don't let anyone know you were caught. We'll be seeing each other again very soon if you do.
Even shadows in the dark must live by a code. But you can't save everyone.
You've been whispering in my ear for days now, Vedifilnir. What are you trying to do? Break me down?
I only say this because you long for an answer to your problems. Let her go, Rerir, or you risk losing everything.
I will not abandon Thelindis.
Then you'll need a little more vigilance and a lot more power. The world is changing, Rerir. Keep your eyes peeled for your moment of opportunity.
That voice used to be so unclear. But now I know exactly whose it is. It's Vedalfnir. He won't tell me how to actually resolve any of this, but he keeps trying to manipulate me like a puppet. What's his game here? Tell me then. What will this moment of opportunity look like? And no answer. He's like a ghost. Always disturbing me when I'm on edge, but never answering when I need him most.
So, the Eclipse Dynasty was purging, well, massacring the descendants of the Crimson Moon. And it seems like it was all connected to the Vinster King's research. The King's obsession with abyssal power left the future of Conria hanging in the balance. No wonder every aspect of Rerir's life was so unstable. And it looks like this Thelindis, Rerir's would-be fiancée, herself belonged to a sub-branch of the Crimson Moon Dynasty's descendants. It almost defies belief that a couple like them could hide the truth from each other for so long. If the Vinster King hadn't intervened in such a drastic way, they might have gone on deceiving each other for the rest of their lives. And why does Vedalfnir, Daneslif's older brother, keep talking in Rerir's head? This guy kept more secrets than I ever imagined. The human mind is like a vast desert of shifting sands. When you follow the flow of someone's memories, you only ever see the parts they're willing to let surface. Time for something a bit more creative. We've been inside Rerir's mind this whole time, building up a picture of his psyche. There's already enough clues on the board to start reading between the lines and mapping out the rest. Now, we can finally begin to put the pieces together. Sure, it'll only be a reconstruction, part simulation, part reasoning, but it's usually pretty accurate. Once we've built up a cognitive profile, we just need to cross-check the logic behind his actions. And then we'll be able to take a sneak peek at whatever it is that Rerir has really been hiding.
Rerir, are you there? Hey, Rerir! Come out, it's urgent!
Dane? What's wrong?
Quick, come with me. I'll explain everything once we've met up with the others.
Okay. I'll come. But Thelindis is still over at the Universitas. I'll need to leave her a note.
All right then, but make it quick.
I've never seen Dane so worked up before. Whatever this is, it must be big trouble.
Well, this is a nice change, meeting you all at this hour. When men and women of ambition can speak face to face in broad daylight, I say that's a big step forward for our dear Conria.
Don't be ridiculous. We do not fear the day. Why would we seek refuge in the night?
You might ask your blade that same question. I'm told it prefers the cover of darkness. The word on the street is that Sir Elegy only strikes when he has an unfair advantage. But that is patently false. I see you're missing an arm and a leg. Surely only a fair fight could explain that.
If this is your way of offering me replacement limbs, believe me, I'll take them.
Oh, we can certainly discuss that. With bioalchemy, anything is possible. Assuming I have your full support in my research.
Lunatic. Robtatir, what brings you here?
Why, Dainsleif, of course. He invited me. Please, cast aside your apprehensions, Miss Rhine-daughter. Whatever the rumors may say, I am but a humble servant of the king, and I can assure you he affords me no greater convenience than he does you.
Well, the Universitas Magistrorum won't stop fawning over you, so at least some of the rumors must be true. You're clearly doing well for yourself, so drop the humble servant act. It endears you to no one. You're president of the Universitas Magistrorum, the chief royal mage known as the Wise by royal appointment, and by far the most favored among the 4 pillars of Conria. Vice President Veit doesn't even try to hide his envy when he sees you.
My success is the product of hard work and good luck. It's as simple as that. Were the king not such an extremist, I hardly think I would have received a senior post at my age. Of course, no job is without its gripes. Serving a king like ours can be a challenging task, as I'm sure you can imagine. And as for Efterveit, in missing out on the presidency, he's dodged a mountain of stress. Like everything else in life, it comes with pros and cons.
You're all here. I apologize for the short notice, but it was an emergency.
You must be Rerir.
Mr. Sertologi. Yes, I handled your case file during your sentencing. Nothing personal, of course. I'm pleasantly surprised that you remember me.
You're clearly a person of substance if you've been invited here. But Dainsleif, you'd better have a very good reason for convening this little gathering.
It's my brother, Vedafenir. After he spoke at the court this morning, the king was so infuriated by his words that he had him blinded in both eyes and thrown in prison.
Vedafenir in prison? Strange. I thought the king trusted him and Horoptatir more than anyone else in the world. Does this mean the king's circle of trust just got even smaller?
It has nothing to do with trust. It's about what the king wants, which is as clear as day to anyone paying attention. I simply appease him, because it's in the best interests of the Universitas Magistrorum.
And also because you're slimy. Vedafenir, perhaps less so. But still, a visionless visionary? It rather inclines me to think that qualifications are not what get you ahead in Conria.
Do you honestly think this is an important discussion to be having right now?
Dane, what are you planning to do?
Rescue Vedafenir, I assume.
Correct. It will mean storming the palace by force. Tonight. I need all of you on my side.
That's far too dangerous. And don't forget, Dainsleif, you're captain of the Royal Guard. You swore an oath to the throne.
You've been planning this for a while, haven't you?
I have no desire to commit treason. But whatever critique the king may have of Vedafenir, disfiguring your most loyal subject for putting the best interests of his court and nation first, this is not the conduct of a wise ruler. My blade will force the king to see the error of his ways.
So, Vedafenir's prophecy enraged the king. I'm sure it wasn't what he wanted to hear, but if he won't take counsel even from the visionary, that is deeply troubling news. The extent of His Majesty's madness is now all too clear. The question is, how does a man like me get out of this situation unscathed? You have noble ambitions, Dane, but I'm afraid they don't do much for a guy like me. I'm not interested in saving the world. All I want is a letter of pardon.
A letter of pardon? For whom? Thelindis? The chances of the Vinster King issuing a pardon for anyone connected to the Crimson Moon seem vanishingly slim. This black fog over the board must have some connection to Thelindis. But why is it taking this form? Does it have something to do with Rarir's past? Another mystery I'll need to unravel.
Author Thelindis. Over the course of this week, the research object was subjected to interference for a total of 60 hours for experimental purposes. The results are as follows. Research dating back to the Crimson Moon Dynasty has established 2 points regarding moon marrow. Firstly, its origins have something to do with a god's power. Secondly, it serves as a portal to an as-yet indeterminate location. Moon marrow can thus be defined as a spatial gateway. However, there are a number of hurdles to overcome before we can answer the question of where it leads to. To start with, opening the gateway requires a specific power source, which the relevant literature indicates. An enormous amount of power is then required to keep the gate open. Currently, the total power output of our instruments remains in the single digits. To make matters worse, I am now the only staff member remaining in the Moon Marrow lab. The Universitas Magistrorum recently decided to move most of its personnel into abyssal energy research, which has stymied all Crimson Moon-related projects. This is not a wise move. I have always maintained that placing all our hopes in a single source of power is risky, especially one as poorly understood as this. As well as making ourselves overly reliant on a single resource, we are neglecting other promising technologies. I apologize if this comes across as disrespectful. But as a Moon Marrow researcher, I desperately want to see the world beyond the gateway. If we really made it there one day, what would we find? And how would we go about taming the unknown? My imagination is endlessly fueled by questions such as these. This is for you. I heard you're gonna leave the city with your parents.
Thelindis, did you hear about what happened?
I've heard nothing. Rerir got back very late last Friday, and he was acting a little unusual, but he slept pretty well, so I'm guessing whatever he did was a good deed. You never saw him, and I don't know what he did. And this conversation never happened. You understand?
What if he finds out that you pried into his secrets?
Don't be silly. I don't know what secrets he does or doesn't have. All I know is he's just a normal guy who happens to run some errands for the king.
Are you scared of him?
I don't know. The Rerir I know doesn't match the person you all describe. Logically, I should be scared of him. And yet, I don't want to lose him. But enough about that. You should get going, and be careful with the package I gave you. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
What's in it?
A piece of the moon. All you need to know is that as long as you keep it safe, then in the future, everyone will be able to see a red moon.
A red moon? You mean our moon?
That's right. Our moon. Promise me you'll look after it.
I promise, Thelindis.
The Crimson Moon bloodline will never die out. Its light, the color of blood, will become like a fire that flows in our veins, no matter how long it takes.
Hurry, everyone, and stick to the plan.
Sir Dainsleif, what are you? Is this treason? You know what happens to those who betray the throne. Please, don't do this!
It is the king himself who has betrayed the throne. He has betrayed all of Conria.
If you have any love left for justice in your heart, you should join me.
It's showtime. Dane and his group will handle the troops in the palace. Then Hraptatir and Rhindaughter will disarm the security measures. My job is to enter the prison and rescue Vedifalnir. Stay safe. Wish me luck.
Look after my brother. Draw your blade. It is time for justice to prevail.
place is filthy. And the smell is abominable. Clearly, the king doesn't allow his prisoners a single shred of dignity. This is dire. Found you. Hello, Mr. Vedafilnir.
Ah, it's you.
Surprised? Oh, wait. I guess surprise isn't an emotion that prophets feel very often.
I certainly felt some surprise in the moment when I was blinded. Surprise at the king's sheer ignorance. Surprise at just how unfairly this world responds to words of earnest remonstration.
I'm curious. What did you prophesize this time?
It wasn't a prophecy. It was a word of warning. Someone had to say it. The king has forsaken all reason in pursuit of his obsessions. I simply told him that if he continues on this path, Khaenri'ah will surely fall.
But he didn't listen. Worse still, he stabbed you in both eyes and locked you away. Dane asked for my help. The court is in complete chaos now, but I'm sure you predicted that.
Everything is transpiring as I foresaw, yet I am powerless to change it. Fate is an immutable force. I can but lament as the inevitable unfolds. I do wonder whether giving a man the power to see the future does nothing more for him than slowly crush his spirit.
Forgive my curtness, Vedafilnir, but the king did not suddenly turn on you today. His suspicions have been brewing for a long time. You can't have wisdom beyond the reach of your fellow man without attracting his fear and suspicion. There are things the king does not want to see. So, he doesn't want you having visions of them either. He blinded you because he thought this would make the visions stop.
He wasn't entirely wrong. I did indeed lose my power to see the future. Right up until...
Until what?
Just now. I believe I saw something new.
Well, tonight could go a lot of different ways. 5 of us banded together to storm the palace, also we could rescue you. This will go down as the most tumultuous day in Khaenri'ah history.
I sense hatred in you, but also hope. A desperate hope that with the tyrant deposed, that will be the end of the story. But this is not the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter, in a whole new story. There are many men of honor and courage in this world, Rerir. But you are not one of them. You're not here for justice, are you? You're here for yourself. Is that a dagger? Interesting. Why not the polearm? It was always your weapon of choice.
With your abilities, I don't doubt that you were able to recover some of your sight. But I also doubt that you want to make an enemy of me right now.
Of course not. We're on the same side, aren't we?
We could be. But I need you to be honest with me, Vedafilnir. At this point, you're my only hope for the future.
You mean your future? With your beloved, Felindis?
Yes. And I know there are bigger things at stake here. A dynasty, a nation, maybe the entire world. But forgive me, I care first and foremost about myself. I can't abandon the one I love to save myself. I just can't do it. But you see a broader picture of the future than I. You see the solutions to the biggest problems of our age. So tell me, what is my solution? What's the answer?
In matters of fate, answers are either right or wrong. What will be and what will not. Maybe you are willing to pay a certain price in the pursuit of happiness, but unfortunately, fate does not negotiate. That is the cruelest thing about fate. It is unmoved by your sacrifices.
That can't be true. I know it's your voice that I keep hearing in my head, urging me to see how the world is changing, to seek more power, so I can protect the things I love. You show me disaster, but you won't show me how to avoid it? Why? Why are you doing all this?
My voice. In your head. So, you hear it too? The voice that steals your mind, gains your trust, and drives you crazy. It turns out that we are not so different, you and I.
Vedifalnir just broke into the strangest smile I've ever seen in my life, as if he'd discovered some monumental secret. But then he suddenly switched to looking extremely weary.
Very well then. My advice to you is as follows. You must persevere. Whatever trials and tribulations you may face, be steadfast in the belief that they are your path to the future. For as long as you live, your story with Thelindis shall not come to an end. That is the only chance you have of fighting back against fate. It is up to you whether you believe my words. Regardless, that is all I will say on the matter. I have no right to intervene any further.
I will hold you to your word.
Thank you for setting me free. In return, I will tell you one more thing that you cannot afford to ignore.
Just then, a strange wave of energy rippled through the city. We had no idea what it could mean.
If I were you, I would head to the Universitas Magistrorum.
The Universitas? Oh no!
I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again very soon, Rerir.
Whatever Vedifalnir said, I didn't catch it. I didn't even help him out of the prison. There was no time to lose. Monsters? Is this run daughter's doing? Or the Universitas Magistrorum? Out of my way!
Let's see what you're made of.
The Universitas. That reminds me of a rumor I once heard. Allegedly, the king installed secret mechanisms in the palace and around the city. No one knows where they are or what kind of power they hold. But if they were ever gonna activate, it would probably be on a night like tonight.
Help! Help! Hold on! Don't let them anywhere near you! Save me! I can't! Ah!
That sounded like an explosion. So, the rumor is true? The king really went through with it. What other means does the king have at his disposal? They must run on power from the Abyss. And given it's a major center of Abyss research, anyone over at the Universitas will be in grave danger. I have to hurry!
You will see you. Flash attack! Here!
It all falls into place. Let's see what you're made of.
Remember, health comes first, mind the side effects.
All eyes on me. Positions. Yeah.
It all falls into place.
Seek within.
Look, the rainbow! Kerplunk!
No more lies. The deception ends here.
Monsters. At the Universitas Magistrorum? Why now? Oh no! They're coming! It's no use. The table won't hold out much longer. The weapons. Where are the weapons? Of course. All the lab equipment was upgraded after the inspection last week, but the new weapons haven't been allocated yet. I'm done for. Is anyone there? I need help! Ah! Stay back! Please stay back! Please!
What's that?
Rear. So the rumors about your work are true.
What? No! Listen, something happened at the palace tonight. We have to leave!
You don't need to lie to me anymore.
What do you mean?
I know why you're worried, and I will respect the decision you've made. But it's okay, because I found a solution. I know how to end all this. You can have it back. The normal life you so desire. But until then, I'm afraid our wedding will have to wait.
Felindus? No, don't do it! Felindus! Felindus!
I told you, Rerir. Let her go. You will find someone better.
No! No, I won't do it! I have to save her!
By what means exactly? A lowly pawn. You lack the power and the strength of will.
Do you know a way? Tell me!
Come to the palace. Join us.
Rerir, thank goodness we...
Step forth and take your share.
You made it.
Not you too.
Hatred or grief, despair or desire. We all have our own.
Rerir.
Felindus?
Were you daydreaming? You still remember, Rerir? That question you asked me a couple of weeks ago?
Oh. You mean the proposal?
Yeah. I'm wondering, where do you think would be a good place to discuss it? Maybe in the garden? Or were you thinking a fancy restaurant?
It's your choice.
I will find you. And then... you can give me your answer.
So that's how the Raker of Solnari was born. A monster created by circumstance is a monster all the same. Viewing other people's thoughts for too long can get uncomfortable. Right now, I'm feeling a strong sense of loathing. In a nutshell, the story of Conria is what happens when the truth falls by the wayside. Everyone tells little white lies, and before long, you have a huge pack of lies that destroys everything. Phew. Time to get back. His past is filled with sorrow, but the tale of any fallen civilization is one of endless tragedy. Cruel as it may be, that was Conria's fate. Everyone, I'm back. Can I get a standing ovation?
Never! How are you holding up? Feeling okay?
She's fine. Boss is a pro.
Yes, I'm fine. You will have seen the events of Rarir's life through my thoughts. It's now clear that he is just a regular nobody, driven by personal tragedy, as he said himself.
I mostly agree. There's only so much we can know about him from his memories alone, but they did give us a clear glimpse into his life in Conria. However, I would not consider Rarir to be a nobody. He was deeply involved in the events of that era. Yet, when the catastrophe of a generation strikes, nobody is safe.
Sounds to me like you're speaking in riddles again. Is this you urging me not to abandon the people of Nodkrai in their hour of need?
That's not what I meant. Although I do hope you choose to remain a part of the plan. Without you, the mission ahead will be all but impossible.
Then try to remember that I respond better to the carrot than the stick. And I don't appreciate being bossed around. Now, as for you, Missy, you were excellent. You stuck to the rules of the ceremony and kept your mouth shut the entire time. Bravo.
Cool. So, can you fill me in on the deets now? Most of what I saw went right over my head.
Patience. You'll hear the whole story, don't you worry. But let's meet up with the others first. It will save me narrating it twice. Yehoda?
Yes, boss. Let me get that door for ya.
That's more like it. For a moment there, I was worried you'd forgotten about the first clause of your employment contract.
Forgive my curiosity, but what does the first clause say?
It says I gotta do the annoying stuff that boss is too lazy to do for herself. Like opening the door, pouring the tea, yada yada.
Is that right?
If something is in the contract, it's because she willingly agreed to it. Rest assured that the Curatorium abides by the very strictest of labor policies. You don't seriously think I'm cruel enough to treat her like my slave? In any case, I've hardly shied away from my share of the work today. Hope I don't catch Flintz and Varka lounging about in their chairs, enjoying a leisurely cup of tea. There's nothing I dislike more than other people enjoying themselves while I'm hard at work. Oh no.
Sorry to disturb you, but we seem to have run into some trouble.
Evidently so. Don't worry, I'm not about to leave you to fend for yourselves. I'm not that kind of boss. And it would go against the Curatorium's labor policy.
I'm sorry? What did you hear me say? I wasn't talking about labor policy.
Wait. How long have I been standing here?
Not long. You just appeared by the door a moment ago.
Boss, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
We've been tricked. We never left at all. Somehow I hallucinated that whole scene back inside the office.
Hallucinated? But how?
How indeed. This place should heed my will alone. All thoughts and actions that occur in here are just a result of pawns moving across the chessboard in a carefully calculated manner. And nobody has access to this chess set but me.
So you control everything in here?
More or less. But yes, it's a special technique of mine.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
Only once. It was the first time I used the chess set.
Is there any similarity between what happened then and what's happening now?
I suppose my thoughts are a little turbulent, which was also the case my first time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
The first clause of your contract clearly states that I only need your help with things that I'm too lazy to do myself.
Meaning, you're not feeling lazy right now?
Meaning, this is not something Yehoda can help with. The chess set is a personal treasure that I alone understand. I must be the one to find our way out of here.
Boss, it's fine. Really. Let me do something useful.
Oh, listen to you. Whatever would I do without you, Yehoda?
What? Really?
Yes, really. Where would I ever find another employee as obedient and servile as you? God forbid anything ever happens to you.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I was thinking of fetching some water. There's gotta be a source around here somewhere. I suggest everyone finds someplace comfortable to take a rest. We gotta conserve our energy. Even though all this chess malarkey doesn't exist in a physical sense, mentally speaking, it's all real. And so is our tiredness and fatigue. You don't want to dismiss mental fatigue. Just because it isn't physical doesn't mean it's any less serious. But anyway, I got your backs, so don't worry about a thing.
Don't I have the best employees? Jealous much?
If we can find a suitable time, I'd love to borrow Yehoda for a day to help out at the Frostmoon Scions. Would you be amenable to that, Boss Nefer?
Oh, Lauma. Have I ever told you just how pretty you are? Beauty runs from the tips of your antlers to the depths of your imagination. Time to rally, everyone. Follow me. As we continue our journey, the same rules will apply. That means stay focused and no talking no matter what we encounter. And don't disturb the chess pieces. You have my word that I will get us all out of here. This place looks familiar. That's not a good sign. There's...
I wasn't expecting visitors at this hour. Wait, is that?
Oh, it's him.
There you are. Sinue's been looking for you all day. I think he has some news for you.
Oh yeah? What were you doing just now, Uncle Retinue? Hiding away some more loose change? I know I saw some Mora.
What do you mean loose change? Oh, come on, I'm too old for this. Just pretend you saw nothing.
Hey, kid. Mind telling me what Sinuhe's been up to recently? I'm trying to get in his good books and I need a way in.
Get in his good books? Why? What do you want with my dad, Uncle Apepi?
I've written a new song. I was hoping to showcase it at the next festival, but I'll need his approval.
A new song, huh? I'd love to stay and listen, But unfortunately, Uncle Retinue says my dad's looking for me.
Well, there's plenty of time and I'm not going anywhere. See that pile of stones? I'll be sitting there warming up my vocal cords. Come find me when you're done.
Pile of stones. Got it. Hi, Dad. Uncle Retinue said you were looking for me.
Ah, there's my little princess. If you'd gotten back just a little sooner, you could have shared the spoils of war with me.
Spoils of war? Who were you fighting against, Dad?
It was just a figure of speech. The aftermath of a sandstorm is no time to be waging war. I was talking about our war against thirst. I went out to fix our water supply problem, and now I'm back. Which means...
We have a well again.
That's right. I found a new one and brought back as much water as I could carry. It should last us for a good while.
If it wasn't for these blasted sandstorms, our wells wouldn't be caving in. You wouldn't be spending all your time out searching for new water sources.
As the chief of our tribe, I'm supposed to be leading us out of hardship and poverty. Onto better things. You know how prosperous our ancestors were. I've told you all the stories. And look at us now. Squeezed into these hovels. No one would choose this, if it wasn't for the endless wars over the years. But things are looking up. I started working with some folks from the academia a few months back. They gave me some contacts in return for my assistance in the desert.
So you're the academia's helper now?
Special ambassador, they call it. Think of it as a partnership. It's nothing bad, okay? We've been isolated here in the desert for too long. Seeking opportunities elsewhere is the best thing for us, and the fastest way to progress.
So, do you get anything good out of being a special ambassador?
Of course. My luck's improving all the time. One day, I swear I'm gonna lead us out of this place. We'll find somewhere new. Somewhere better.
That's our well, and you know it. You stole from us. Well, you've gone from chief to thief, and now you have to face the consequences.
Did you really think you could take our water without permission and get away with it? You're either brave, stupid, or both.
And that Special Ambassador Act? Yeah, nice try. We spoke to the academia. They said it was all news to them.
You're a liar and a cheat!
I heard Yehoda gasp, but I don't blame her. Most people are terrified by the sight of blood. Corpses strewn across the ground. The wounds are clearly from scimitars and daggers. The desert dwellers' weapons of choice. There's a handwritten note on the ground. Let's see what it says.
Halil, this is Sinuhe, chief of the Shimti tribe. Surely you remember me. I was the one who helped you and your colleagues avoid the quicksand in the desert. This is my second time writing to you. I assume my last letter must have gotten lost in the mail, as I didn't receive a reply. I hope this one makes it to you safely. I'm writing to you because I need some help. That sandstorm the other day completely blocked up our well, forcing me to look for another water source in Iab and Unut territory. It was a matter of survival. Praise the gods. The well of the Iab tribe was intact. It was my last resort. I drew what water I could and left, but not without being spotted. I fear they will retaliate. You told me to write to you if I ever needed help. You said you'd be my ally in the academia. I urgently need you to formally recognize my title of Special Ambassador and send some of your people to assist me for a few days. It's the only way I can convince them that this was the academia's decision and prevent them from retaliating. This is an emergency. Please send help as soon as possible.
Looks like this letter never got sent. The writer died a grisly death, and the letter was trampled into the ground. It's badly defaced. Some parts are barely legible. What a ridiculous lie the surviving Shimti tell. Their whole village was butchered over a sip of water.
Ah, officer. Welcome. Welcome to our humble village.
I thought you would at least have the courtesy to provide some respectable libations.
This is the finest wine Aru village has to offer. I promise.
The Academia has agreed to reserve a single space for a candidate from your village. But I remain skeptical of this entire endeavor. I highly doubt anyone in this desert possesses serious academic potential.
Please, have faith. If not in us, then in our god. The child we found shows great promise. I beg you, take her away from this place. Give her a chance. Don't let her talent go to waste.
I don't recognize her. New arrival?
She showed up here a few days ago and we took her in. She's a really bright kid. Please help. I'm begging you.
So, where are you from?
Nowhere special. Just a sand dune.
What about the rest of your family? How many of you are there?
Just the one.
It's only you?
Correct.
So, no brothers, no sisters, no mother or father?
Any who have slept on a bed of sand, I call my brothers and my sisters. Apart from that, I have no family.
All right. Get over here. Sign your name on the form. Never? You're rather fair-skinned for a desert dweller.
Nefer, this term's assignments have been issued already. Please read through the materials thoroughly, conduct your own additional research, and then write an essay on the topic.
Yes, Professor, I'm aware. I just had a couple more questions I wanted to get your perspective on.
Oh? Please ask away.
Well, I saw the other students' problem sheets, and I couldn't help but notice that my assignment is much easier than theirs. Do you really think I'm a weak student?
A weak student? Goodness, no. Quite the opposite. You have a sharp mind. Almost too sharp.
I think what you're saying is, a weak student wouldn't have noticed the discrepancy. And if they did, they certainly wouldn't complain about the lighter workload.
You see, sharp as they come. You see things the way they are. And I'm sure you know why they're like that.
Because of where I come from. Because I'm different.
I'm sorry, Nefer. I don't like it any more than you do. It's just... Anyway, you said you had a couple of questions? What's the other one?
I wanted to check. If someone sent me a letter to the Academia, where do I go to collect it?
Ah, your family wrote to you. As long as they put your name on the envelope, someone should hand it right to you.
Not exactly. It's not even a recent letter. I was just curious where the mail would end up if no one collects it.
The House of Dana, I expect. I know there's a box for unclaimed mail somewhere in there, probably sitting on a shelf. Whatever you're looking for, that'd be the place to start.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Professor.
Oh, don't mention it. Honestly, I feel like I failed you. I'm supposed to be your teacher, but I haven't taught you anything.
Hey, don't say that. You're a great teacher, and you do your best for all your students. But the rules are the rules. You're not allowed to teach students like me. It's not just the academia either. The whole world bends over backwards for the successful, and leaves the losers to suffer and die.
Oh, my dear child. Don't tell me you've given up on life already.
I haven't. I just think that if you want to make it in this world, you have to find a way to become successful. This must be it. A big cardboard box full of... Let's take a look. A dilapidation survey from Port Ormos. Looks like it's from a Core of 30 representative. What a strange thought. A bunch of mercs losing sleep over rundown buildings. This one was never even opened. I guess the recipient didn't care what the Core of 30 had to say about anything. Who was it addressed to? I don't recognize the name, but it must have been a Ksharawar professor. This one is addressed to the Immorta Sage. The title is Changes Observed in Satyavada Life Symptoms. Why do all these letters read like full-blown dissertations? Guided by the incense, we became lost somewhere in the forest. All the barriers between levels of consciousness disappeared as our minds soared around in circles, looking for a branch to seek refuge on. In clinical terms, these symptoms fit the description of incense poisoning. The Immorta Darshan strictly prohibits the use of hallucinogenic substances, but I believe there are still people getting away with it. For example, my neighbor who always breaks out into song and dance after using incense. This seems like something the academia would want to know about. Why wasn't it collected? Wait, what's this written on the back? It's so small. The note says, "The sender authored this letter while under the influence of mushrooms. I would send it back, but no return address was provided. Stamped by the Grand Conservator of the House of Dana." This next one is addressed to Grand Sage Azar? A few words of protest regarding recent changes in Sumeru's educational policy. In recent years, the academia has taken on a small number of students from the desert region, as per the policy to this effect. However, it appears to me that these students have not, in fact, been provided with educational opportunities that are, in any meaningful sense, equal to those enjoyed by their peers, as well as receiving dumbed-down assignments and perfunctory tutoring. They do not even have full access to the Akasha system. Education is the fundamental purpose of this institution, which should go without saying in a nation whose founding virtues are knowledge and wisdom. I ask you, is the lip service we pay to the policy of education for desert students truly the standard of pedagogy to which the academia aspires? As Grand Sage, policy decisions are your prerogative. But do not forget your roots. You and I were once students too, as was everyone else in this institution. I do hope you will give some serious attention to this matter. I encourage you to discuss issues like this with myself and others, and listen to some alternative opinions. Great letter. Shame it didn't get to where it needed to go. And the sender is... Huh? Sage Cyrus of Spontamod. I didn't realize anyone else even knew how bad students like me have it in this place. So this is where letters from the Sage of Spontamod end up? Nice one, Grand Sage. Really enlightened leadership. Whatever. This isn't what I came here for. Moving on. I'm not exactly holding out hope that a letter sent from the desert would even make it here. But if it did, where else would it end up if not in this box? I can't believe how much discarded mail there is. Must have been years since someone last went through it all. And this is just one box. The whole House of Dana is boxes on shelves. I don't believe for 1 second that any human being has sat down and read through all the documents in this place. Who has that much free time on their hands? Wait, could this be it?
Greetings, Halil. My name is Sinue, chief of the Shimti tribe. I was the one who came to you and your colleague's aid when you ran into trouble in the Great Red Sand. I don't know how well you remember it now, but I brought you to safety and gave you some water and other supplies. You seemed very pleased and told me your name. In my tribe, learning a person's true name is serious business. And I therefore see you all as friends. You were kind enough to leave your contact details, so we could stay in touch. The Shimti tribe lives a harsh, nomadic existence in the desert. You were sympathetic towards my plight, promising to make me a special ambassador of the academia and help us find a way to make a better living. This brings me to my reason for writing. Our tribe has fallen on particularly hard times, and I would like to ask for your assistance. There was a terrible sandstorm a few days ago, which blocked up the well in our land. To ensure my people's survival, I had no choice but to venture into Eob and Unut territory in search of an alternate water source. The Eob and Unut are descended from the Thamudians, while we trace our ancestry to Tulatala. We worship the Lord of Flowers and have had relatively good relations with our fellow tribes, up until now. I found a well belonging to the Eob tribe. They declined to help us, but I really had no other option. So I took some water to keep me and my tribe alive. My actions are certain to incur their wrath. When we met, you assured me that you would be my ally in the academia. I would like to take you up on that offer, because I really need your help. I wonder if you could send an academia representative to meet with me. That aside, the last time you were here, you mentioned that the academia had started accepting students from the desert, and I told you a little about my daughter, Nefer. We have next to no resources here in the desert, and my power and influence are limited. Would you consider enrolling my daughter at the academia? She is a smart girl. I know she won't disappoint you.
From the outset, the academia never took you seriously. Those things they promised were just empty words. I doubt they even remember the name Sinue. And you were so emphatic that your luck had finally changed for the better. You swore you'd lead us to a better place one day. You spoke with such conviction, like you were the most powerful chief in the whole desert. You liar. You lied about everything. You promised the world and delivered on none of it. And who fell for it? Just me, by the looks of it. Despite your best efforts. Which makes you a pathetic liar. You weren't even any good at it. I think I'll take over from here. Let me show you how it's done. I just came to say goodbye. Thanks for everything you've done for me in my time here.
Nefer? You packed your bags. Where are you going?
I'm quitting. Something's come up in my hometown. Gonna head back and deal with it.
Huh? But this was a hard-won opportunity for you. You know that better than I do.
It was. But it doesn't matter. I have more important things to deal with, and they can't wait. Oh, and I didn't want to overfill my bags, so I left some incense on your desk. What's wrong? I thought you liked incense. Although, I did read somewhere in the House of Dana that it has hallucinogenic effects. Don't use it all at once, or...
Isn't this the stuff you brought from your hometown? You're just letting me have it? But you said it's a rare and valuable commodity.
Yeah, about that. I lied. It's not rare at all. There's this bunch of ruins near my hometown that are practically overgrown with this plant. It's not worth much. Keep it, it's fine.
But Nefer...
All right, that's all from me. You take care.
Don't forget me, okay? I mean, we're more than just classmates, right? We're friends.
Yeah, I'll remember you. I lied again. That incense is worth a fortune, and it's a rare find even in those ruins. And as for remembering her, I have far too much to do when I get back. No time to reminisce. I'll be lucky if I even make it through this alive. But either way, I expect I'll forget you pretty quickly. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Arif.
So, what does the Academia want? Since they've sent their special ambassador, I assume there's a big business deal to be made. If not, I'd be very disappointed.
Please, sir, lower your blade. You're lucky I'm the one they sent. Not all special ambassadors share my admiration for the Iab people. The ever-shifting balance of power in the desert reduced the once great civilizations of this region to rubble and sand. But the story of the Iab has a very different trajectory. Others grew weak, but you grew strong, beginning in obscurity and moving to prosperity. You're the only ones who defied the trend.
Huh. So, you do know who you're dealing with?
This well is the perfect symbol of your strength, is it not? It used to belong to the Unut, but it looks like you have control over it now.
You're not wrong. But I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to flatter us.
Of course not. I came to bring you some very good news. Some information that recently came to light, which might just be your ticket to freedom. Records uncovered by the Vahumana Darshan show that a certain well currently under Iab control is built on top of some ancient ruins. These ruins are of great archaeological interest to the Academia. I checked the map carefully on my way over here, and I'm confident that this is the well in question. The Academia is offering 50 million mora in return for excavation rights.
50 million? No, wait. If these ruins are as important as you say, 50 million's a little low, don't you think?
Don't get greedy, Iab. We know far more than you think. We know that you seized this well by force. Wasn't that the first step in your rise to power? To drive away the Unut and steal their water supply?
So what if it was?
Don't worry. As unscrupulous as it was, it's something we're willing to overlook. The Academia is only interested in dealing with the de facto power holders in the region. I hope I am making myself clear.
And I hope your words are the truth. If I find out the Academia is trying to play me, I'll hunt down every one of your people and make you watch as I cut their heads off one by one.
I assure you, Chief, that would not be in your long-term interests. You don't want to make an enemy of the Academia. You see how I'm dressed, don't you? I appreciate that you've never been to the rainforest, but surely even you recognize an ambassador's attire when you see it. And what does a barbarian like you have to lose anyway? You really think the Sumeru Academia would bother to come all this way just to lie to you? We have more important things to worry about.
All right, I take your point. The Academia is the highest authority in the land. I'm sure you're trustworthy people. In that case, we have a deal. We will sell you the excavation rights. I'd like to thank you, Ambassador. This is good news indeed. Excellent news. In fact, it calls for a celebration. Would you do us the honor of staying a while and enjoying some Iab hospitality?
Gladly. I am partial to wine myself, and I trust you are as well. So let's indulge in a few drinks together, in celebration of this momentous occasion.
Chief! Chief, it's an emergency! It's the Unut. They've taken the well.
What? Well, don't just stand there. Take it back.
Yes, Chief.
I have every confidence in the Iab's military superiority, and yet...
Well, what is it?
The Unut's response was alarmingly fast. The day after we reach a deal, they seize the well. This can't be a coincidence. Perhaps there is a traitor in your midst.
I don't think so.
I am obliged to remind you, Chief, that the Academia will only deal with the de facto power holders. If you cannot regain control over the well, I'm afraid you won't see a single mora of that 50 million.
No! Please, Ambassador, just give me some time. I swear the Unut will not get away with this. That well is ours, and so is the mora.
Glad to hear it. I will wait here for an update.
If there is a traitor, I will find them. In the meantime, make yourself at home. I'll report back as soon as I have an update.
Much obliged. Wow. All it took was a few words and I've got him wrapped around my finger. What an amazing feeling.
So, in summary, Ambassador, The Academia would rather negotiate with our tribe instead of the Eab, yes?
The Eab are ruthless murderers who don't listen to reason. And now they have the gall to interfere in our research projects in the desert region. So let me ask you, Chief. If you were the Academia, what would you do?
Kill them all, of course.
Precisely. The Academia does not tolerate those who stand in our way. The Eab have held back our academic pursuits for too long, and our patience is wearing thin. At the same time, there is simply no way that the Academia can be seen to be intervening in desert affairs. I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from.
We have our own rules out here. If the rainforest dwellers raised arms against a desert tribe, you'd start a bloody war.
Right. We can't confront them ourselves, but we can support their enemies. The Unut have always had strained relations with the Eab, which makes you our natural allies. Natural allies? Weren't the Eab your allies once? You were quick to send them after us to protect your interests back when we stole that water. And now look at you. You're at each other's throats. Let me be clear. The Academia wishes to collaborate with the legally recognized rulers of the desert in this matter. We are asking for excavation rights to that well, and our offer is 50 million mora.
Say no more. I believe we have an understanding.
Good. Then I suggest you get to work. Get us access to that well, and the mora's yours. You see, Dad? Lying is easy when you know how. People will believe anything. Look at yourselves. You may be vile, savage monsters, but your butchered bodies bleed like any others. You're no different. You're nothing special at all. The monsters who destroyed my home, they're just ordinary, petty human beings. What a joke. I think we're even now. Maybe I've even done the desert a favor. It's a better place without all these people around. Oh, Sinuhe, my gullible fool of a father. Perhaps if you'd been as ruthless as I was today, our tribespeople would still be alive. In this dog-eat-dog world, a chief needs to be tough to survive. But you couldn't do what had to be done. So I did it for you.
Nefer, it's okay. All of this is in the past now.
I believe I remember you promising to remain silent.
Yeah, but even so...
Yehoda, is there anything you can do to ease the tension?
Alright, time for a sharp turn onto a completely different topic. So, anyway, that's enough of that. When are we getting out of this place? Feels like we've been walking forever. I'm getting pretty tired. Oh, Lauma, you tired?
Yes. If we can find somewhere to sit down, I could certainly do with a rest.
It's not far now. There should be a temple just up ahead. Yes.
Really? A temple? That's where this story ends? I guess that's how things go in the desert.
Desert dwellers can never escape their destiny. Or so everyone says. I never wanted to believe it, but looking back now, I'm as desert as they come.
You mentioned a temple. What's waiting for us there?
My biggest trade secret of all.
Ah. Then I'm guessing it's where you got your power from. The power to peer into other people's minds.
I didn't know you were clued up on any other religions.
I'm no expert in the history of Sumeru, but since you come from the desert, I would imagine it has something to do with King Deshret.
Sounds impressive.
Oh, I know who you mean. General Mahamatra Sino. The spirit of Hermanubis dwells within him.
That's Boss Neff for ya. She knows everything.
Sino's hardly a figure of obscurity, but I know about Sethos too.
What about him? Is he a big deal or something?
Well, he's not a small deal, let's put it that way. Please, this is the bare-bone basics. Save the flattery. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I'm sure it's been a lot to take in. With any luck, that's our exit just up ahead.
Uh-oh. 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 I'm totally out of my depth here. I don't have anything to add about any of this stuff. Like, look at that statue, for instance. I want to do the whole name-dropping, this girl knows her stuff thing too, but I've never seen anything like it before.
A statue with the head of a bird.
That's Thoth, the Ibis King. One of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. The legends say that he, the Crocodile King, and the Goat King were the 3 retainers of King Deshret. Let's take a look.
It's just Ashru.
So, all is well?
Typically speaking, at this point, the world disintegrates. Then we find ourselves back in the outside world. Besides, these are my memories. There's nothing to fear.
You're sure?
Of course. It's almost over.
Hold on!
Knowing too much is always a death sentence.
Speak for yourself.
How repulsive.
timed that pretty well, didn't I? It's okay. I'm just glad no one was hurt. Paimon noticed you doing something too, Dainsleif. Were you helping get them out?
Of course. When I asked Nefer to conduct this investigation, I was not naive to the dangers involved. I had a duty to ensure your safety.
Good to know your sense of justice is still intact after all these years.
I take that to mean that you saw the truth. That comes as a great relief.
I certainly did. And thanks to your help, I also managed to trap Rerir inside the chess set.
Whoa, really? How'd you manage that?
Well, to be honest, I sensed that something was wrong long before we made it to the temple. By using this fragment to probe into Rerir's past, well, the monster formerly known as Rerir, it seems I alerted him. I was tracking him, then he caught on and started tracking me too. Can't say I'm surprised.
But how did he track you through your thoughts alone? That shouldn't be possible.
Rerir was a secret agent who reported directly to the Vinster King. He is an expert at finding a trail and hunting down his pursuers.
No wonder.
He infiltrated the chess set, read my thoughts, and built a new virtual chess set inside of it. That's why we weren't able to leave at first.
Speaking of your chess set, it's quite a remarkable item. Would I be right in thinking you have some connection to King Deshret?
You overestimate me. I only have a connection with one of his underlings, the Ibis King. You all saw how this came to be. A long time ago, the Iab massacred my tribe, the Shimti, in our home village. A few years later, I enrolled in the academia, where some new information came to light. The Unut and the Iab fought a bitter battle over the rights to a well, all for the sake of a non-existent 50 million mora. The Iab ultimately won that confrontation, but their victory came at the cost of almost every warrior in the tribe. The final blow to the Iab came at the victory feast, when an Unut assassin beheaded their chief right before my eyes. The remaining Iab fled and have been scattered to the winds ever since. Having gotten my revenge, I returned to my hometown, where to my surprise, the nearby temple was still standing. There it was, seemingly immune to the relentless hostility of the desert, while my tribal home lay in ruins. As I stood there gazing at the temple, I noticed a cat just outside. This cat, as it turned out, was home to the spirit of the Ibis King. He led me to a gate deep inside the temple, and there he made a deal with me. This chess set is my gift from the Ibis King. The chessboard within is made to the same specifications as the one in the mausoleum of King Deshret, and represents his power of piercing analysis. With this chessboard in its container, I gained a certain ability to perceive hidden secrets. Now, you could conclude that the Ibis King simply wanted to give the people of this world the power to seek the truth, but I don't believe that's the full story. Every god plays favorites. Their hearts are as fickle as any human's, full of secrets, perversions, egotistical tendencies. But precious few gods are willing to admit this.
It is the same with all powerful forces, including fate itself. Their gaze falls preferentially upon a select few. As you rightly point out, this is an act of favoritism.
If you're alluding to the Abyss, then yes, I agree. Gather the others. It's time to share everything I've learned. Thank you all for being here. As promised, I did some further investigating into the Raker of Solnari's background. I am pleased to report that the investigation has been most fruitful indeed. The Raker of Solnari, real name Rerir, was once a Khanrian subject who served the Vinster King. I will now share the important details of his story. Please save any questions or comments for the end.
So that's why he's so obsessed with the moon.
A tragic tale, to be sure. But it does not excuse his many transgressions. No matter how much Rerir suffered in the past, the fact remains that he is what we know today as the Wild Hunt, wreaking havoc upon innocent lives in Nodkrai. He becomes more dangerous with each passing day. If left unchecked, it is simply a matter of time before all of Tevat suffers the consequences. This is a threat that the Knights of Favonius cannot ignore.
A question for Miss Columbina. Forgive me if this is presumptuous, but have you ever seen the spatial gateway that appeared in Rerir's memory?
Never. But I have heard stories of something called the Moon Gate, and this seems to fit the description.
Miss Lauma, any thoughts on this?
In the lore of the Frost Moon Scions, the moon is believed to hold many secrets. Some sources speak of ancient knowledge, others of a gateway to the unknown. The term Moon Gate is one I have heard before, but as is the case with all of our legends, there are no records of any first-hand witnesses. We cannot know whether it truly exists.
Then back to Miss Columbina. As a moon goddess yourself, do you have some idea of where the Moon Gate leads to?
Not at this stage, sorry. I do hold the power of the Frost Moon, and my strength is recovering well. I can sense that the gate would open at my command, but...
But there's more to the power of the Frost Moon than that?
Yes. A moon goddess has the right to open the Moon Gate, since it is a path to the moon. But as Nefer mentioned, holding open a spatial gateway takes a huge amount of power. And right now, I need to conserve my energy to fight the Reihir of Solnari. I'm afraid this is one mystery we may have to leave unsolved for now.
I agree. Better to save your strength. But if you'll humor me for a moment, I have a bold conjecture of my own regarding the world beyond the gateway. I highly suspect that neither Tholindis nor Rerir made it through unscathed. The evidence pointing to this is the fact that the Reihir of Solnari exists in the form of countless fragments. With the abyssal power he wields, no ordinary foe can touch him, let alone tear him to shreds. And yet, the Wild Hunt proliferates wherever his scattered fragments lie, drawing hordes of monsters to many different locations across the land.
So your theory is that Rerir was physically torn to shreds by some powerful force? Hence, why the Wild Hunt is a distributed phenomenon, rather than a unified one?
Makes sense to me. Explains why the Wild Hunt is so pervasive, and why he's been trying to piece himself back together. He was whole to begin with, and he wants to be whole again.
Without the power of the Abyss on his side, he almost certainly would have perished the moment he was torn apart. But the Abyss, much like a curse, has kept him alive.
I could not agree more. The power of the Abyss is most surely a curse.
It is a compelling explanation, and one that accords with my present understanding of Abyss creatures. Whether the life form in question is primitive or advanced, if a curse has extended its lifespan unnaturally, it will continue to survive in spite of everything. This raises some interesting questions. I will run some experiments and see if there is any validity to my suspicions. That being said, regardless of whether my research bears fruit, I would like to thank Miss Nefer for conducting such a thorough investigation. Already, it has greatly enriched my understanding of the entity we face.
My pleasure, Mr. Albedo. I too hope that the information I have shared today proves useful as we look to formulate the next stage of our plan.
Hey! What is it, Dainsleif? You look really upset!
It's just... when I think of the man I once knew as Rerir, I struggle to understand why things had to turn out like this.
The two of you used to be friends, didn't you? I don't know if these words will bring any comfort, but my heart goes out to you.
Mine too. We can never know all the hows and whys of the way things are. The moon and stars are full of untold secrets and lies. And the skies are host to many more mysteries than these alone. Yet, none of that can begin to compare with the complexity of human life.
Those are the first comforting words I've heard in a long time. Thank you, both.
Well, I think this is a good place to end today's meeting. I'm sure Nefer needs some time to recover. She's been through an awful lot today.
That's very thoughtful of you, Lama.
Of course.
Sounds good to me. Take some time to rest and digest before we reconvene to nail down a plan. Hey, is this a bad time? Hope I didn't kill the conversation. No need. Come on, let's talk outside. Anyway, Nefer went back to the curatorium to get some rest. But before she left, she shared some things with me that I thought you should be aware of. Firstly, although she managed to trap the Raker of Solnari inside her chess set, there's no guarantee that the power of the Ibis King is any match for one of the 5 sinners. Their powers are beyond our comprehension. It's only a matter of time before he finds a way to break out. We have to come up with a plan and take care of him before that happens.
Honestly, Paimon figured that might be the case. So, how long have we got?
Well, I asked her that same question. She talked for a long time, but for the most part, it seemed like she was trying to convince me how precious her chess set is, and what a long and storied history it has. It felt like some kind of sales pitch, you know? The kind where you end up handing over Mora against your will? Anyway, after all that, she finally answered the question. 2 days, at most.
2 days? Holy moly! Can we even recruit enough help in that time?
That remains to be seen. Which brings me to the second issue. Dainsleif is obviously conflicted about this whole thing. But given how little time we have, there's no way we can pull this off without his help. You have some history with him, right? Do you think maybe you could talk to him for us? Great. I appreciate it. All right, on to item 3. So, Albedo, Durin, and I put our heads together and came up with a plan. Can't promise it's gonna work yet, but at least it's a start. We figured we'd bounce the idea off you first. We'll explore it further once everyone's recovered.
Oh, Paimon's dying to hear this.
All right, so here's what we're thinking. We felt a little uneasy about roping you into this. I mean, firstly, you're not locals, and secondly, none of us are your boss. You're well within your rights to refuse if you so choose.
Roping us in? Why would you even say that? We know the stakes here. It's all of us against the Rayher of Solnari, or none of us stand a chance.
I choose my words very intentionally, I'll have you know. I like to think there's an art to striking a down-to-earth tone even when the stakes are through the roof.
Sir Varka, I have a few thoughts about this plan.
I'm all ears.
I think we can be more flexible with how the roles are allocated. In my view, the most sensible lineup would be like this.
I see your point, yeah. But if that's how we're going to approach this, you'd better make sure you're ready. To be clear, I don't doubt your abilities. Far from it. I just want to make sure. Are you really willing to take all this on?
I want to do everything within my power. The Rayher of Solnari is a truly fearsome opponent, and if I do my part, it'll greatly reduce the risk for everyone else involved.
Well, that tracks with what I've heard. Jean's mentioned in her letters that you're so diligent it's almost abnormal. As in, most people weigh up the risks and rewards in situations like this. But you seem to just march towards danger without a moment's hesitation. Of course, everyone appreciates a fearless pioneer. But all that aside, I'm the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, and you're our honorary knight. I want to make sure your courage doesn't come at the expense of your safety.
Thank you, Sir Varka.
I should be the one thanking you. It means a lot to have you on board. I'll give some serious thought to your suggestions.
This is a thorough plan, but I do have one last question before we take action. How can we be sure that our enemy won't leave the designated area?
Great question. Albedo's been hard at work analyzing Rerir and the Wild Hunt's behavioral patterns. His conclusions are as follows. Firstly, from the earliest known confrontation until now, Rerir has never displayed any ability to manipulate the dimension of space. So it's unlikely he has any power in that domain. Secondly, he seems to have a particularly strong vendetta against our group. If we put him in a fight-or-flight situation, he'll choose to fight every time. Thirdly, finally, and most importantly, he is consumed by hatred, both for the moon and for his enemies. Turns out, we tick both of those boxes. We have a reincarnated moon in our ranks, and a spy who accessed his private memories without permission. He'll be baying for blood, not looking to escape.
As someone who's had their fair share of interactions with the Wild Hunt, those all seem like valid observations to me.
Understood. Then I will defer to the verdict of the group.
Well, everyone, that's the plan in full detail. Albedo and Durin are carrying out their part as we speak.
Plan approved. Scheduling.
Okay, any firepower you need, I got you covered. Let's light this baby up.
The Frost Moon Scions are behind you as well.
And the rest of you? No objections? All right, then it's settled. This is the plan we're going with. Next up, an old tradition of mine. Anyone who wants to back out, now's your chance.
Wait, we can still back out of this?
Everyone says things they regret, right? I don't want anyone feeling trapped because their mouth said yes before their brain had time to think things through.
A very people-first approach. I hear that's common practice in the Knights of Favonius.
Heh. Who'd you hear it from? D-Luke?
Shh. We don't use people's real names at work. This contact will be known only as Owl, please and thank you.
This plan can only work if everyone does their part. Flint's and I will absolutely support it.
We shall indeed. You'll be glad you accepted our help. Also, you are the last person I expected to see here, Miss Dory.
It's not often I get called Dory in a work context. My peers usually call me Lord Sangamabe.
So, the longer your name, the higher your net worth. Is that the idea here?
In that case, Mr. Flint's here must be worth a fortune. That's right, I know your full name. It's...
The walls are thin here. I'd appreciate you keeping that a secret.
Okay, fine. I'm actually only here as a favor for someone else. Do you have any idea how much it would cost to hire me otherwise? Oh, does this mean someone out there actually has the power to boss Dory around?
It most certainly does not. We have a long-standing and mutually beneficial business partnership. She's actually the mom of a friend of yours. Said mom supplied me with a great little trinket, but now that lady's ruined everything. If I don't start building a little goodwill now, my whole business in nodkrai is gonna go down the drain!
Okay. So what exactly is so special about this pendant?
It's a lucky charm that a great mage made for me. We have a business relationship, and she was worried that something bad might happen to me. So, she wanted me to have something that can store power to protect myself with. I finally got it all fully charged up with Kuvaki, and then never went and used it all up at once! Never lost so big in my life!
You're right. It was all my fault. I didn't mean to drain all the Kuvaki in the pendant, but I'll make it up to you.
You will? Well, in that case, how about you give me your chess set, and we call it even?
I knew you'd say that. Well, it's yours if you want it. In fact, take it now, and I'll even throw in a free Raker of Solnari. Deal?
You're putting me in a difficult position here.
It's a very useful thing to have around, but I have a funny feeling it won't be around much longer. I guess we'll see in a couple of days.
Looks like bankruptcy for me.
Hey, don't be so pessimistic. See this through and you never know. You might find a new business opportunity on the other side.
Dory, how are things going? Feeling ready? Oh, I was born ready. We only have 2 days. You think Lord Sangamabe would let an opportunity like this slip by? Don't forget, when something's in high demand, the people with the goods on hand get to charge the highest price of all. Even higher than the sellers taking advance orders. Ta-da! See? It's right here. Ah, it's so pretty. Did you make it? No, I have a supplier. We go way back, so he made me a very attractive offer. Aha! No wonder you were talking about Lucky Charms at the meeting. You've been getting Kaveh to make them for you. That's not the full story. It actually started a while back as a project between me and the Dendro Archon. Mage Alice once warned me that this world won't stay safe forever. There may come a day when everyone faces a great crisis. I passed this on to the Dendro Archon, and she secretly brought together a research team made up of Sumeru's top scholars to invent a technology that could keep people safe. I won't go into the details because it's all very complicated, but if you want to know more, you can ask the Dendro Archon about it sometime. Anyway, point being, it was the Dendro Archon who asked Kaveh to build this little contraption. As one of the top Kashara War talents, he was the obvious choice. Took him long enough. He stressed over it for ages. Must have gone through at least a dozen designs before producing a final product. But that's Kaveh for you. Marak delivered it to me a couple of days ago, along with a letter from Kaveh. Could I ask why I'm sending this technology to you? And what's your proposed use case? Has it been approved by the relevant authorities? So nosy. My fault for sending him the research permit to begin with. Surely Nahida must have told him you were involved in this project. He was probably just nervous because you're always so secretive about your business. Could be, could be. Anyway, I just replied, let's hope there never has to be a use case, because it would involve grave danger. Fair enough. But it sounds like he was just being cautious. He probably felt responsible as the one who made it. Or maybe he was asking as a favor for his housemate. He's done that before. Not sure why, though. His housemate doesn't seem to really care that much about this kind of stuff. Either way, all's well that ends well. I'm just glad to finally have my hands on the product. I wouldn't want to be without it, given the potential dangers that lie ahead. Huh? What does that look mean? Paimon's just super surprised. This must be the first time we've ever seen you actually get serious about something. Well, a long time ago, I made a promise to myself. I promised that I was gonna live every day of my life with a big beaming smile. Obviously, Mora plays a big part in that. But there are always gonna be times in life when you have to give something back. That could mean paying back a debt, returning a favor, or showing some kindness.
Alice has been a huge help to me over the years. She was the first investor I ever had. And I want my investors to know that Lord Sangamabe is the best in the business. And more than that, no one knows what the future will bring. Whatever happens, I want to make sure the Dendro Archon and all of Sumeru is prepared to face whatever comes. Oh, that? I was just making sure Nefer and I are square. Don't be thinking it was some sort of benevolent act. I'm no saint, so don't treat me like something I'm not. My priority is doing the business that I want to do, so long as my conscience lets me, but it usually does. That's the Lord Sangamabe business model.
Alright, if you say so.
I do say so, and that's the whole point. I'm a businesswoman. Don't go trying to figure out what kind of person I am. You'll exhaust yourself. Much easier for everyone involved if you just take my word for it. Oh, and could you two help me get this stuff where it needs to be? Thanks so much. You're my favorite assistants.
Traveler, Paimon, it's good to see you.
Everything going smoothly over here?
Sort of. As you're probably aware, Varka, Durin, and I captured some abyssal creatures from the Wild Hunt. Per the plan, we dissected and analyzed some samples of these creatures. The process went very smoothly. The findings, however, come with some troubling implications.
What? You can actually dissect the Wild Hunt?
That depends on your definition of Wild Hunt and dissection.
Harmless, lifeless. These words are accurate descriptions.
The Wild Hunt is an interesting phenomenon. In and of itself, it doesn't seem to possess anything akin to a human personality. But taken as a collective, the medium through which the Wild Hunt is summoned does appear to have a soul. Master griped a lot about the wise Horoptotire, and seemed somewhat fascinated with the Faustert Elegy. But she barely mentioned Rerir at all. I don't think that was because of his lower social standing, though. Anyway, it's a pity. I should like to hear her thoughts on the nature of the lifeform he has become today. It's a strange mix. The furious energy of an abyssal being channeled through a fractured physical existence. A consequence of being torn apart by an unknown power. Perhaps the only explanation for his survival in this state is that he sacrificed a degree of individuality in exchange for a continued existence. Oh, sorry. Once I get talking about interesting research, I have a tendency to go on indefinitely. Back to our research findings. Essentially, they confirm my hypothesis. Rerir's corpse is completely contaminated by the Abyss, and the effects are irreversible. You could think of this as Rerir in mutated form. But in my view, even that would be inaccurate. In reality, his whole being has been consumed by the Abyss. In other words, he is now nothing more than a manifestation of abyssal power. Unfortunately, at present, we have no means of completely eradicating abyssal power. Hence, we cannot fundamentally destroy the Reihir of Solnari either.
Oh, that's terrible news! So, that's it? We can't defeat him? Not even if we get the power of the Three Moons?
Miss Columbina's situation is a difficult one. She can never achieve wholeness when the world does not accept her presence. It's as if her creator banished her to a place she can never be accepted. It means she spends most of her energy just on her own survival.
Given the circumstances, it's only natural to despair. But we must see this plan through to the end. Time to kick off the backup plan.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot! This is for you. Dory asked us to bring it.
Ah, how wonderful. Well, thank you for making the trip. Durin and I will be heading off shortly.
I'm sorry I won't be there to protect you in person this time. Please be careful.
All right then. Stay safe.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Miss Lauma, is everyone here?
Yes. The fate of my flock is in your hands, Grand Master Varka. Please keep them safe.
My lady, what are you saying?
Within the next 24 hours, we will face the biggest crisis the world has ever seen. This is not a burden that we deserve to bear, but I believe that we reap what we sow in this life. So I intend to act. I must do what I think is right. For me, that means fighting for the future of Nodkrai. This gentleman is the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, Varka, Knight of Boreas. In my absence, please follow his lead.
Hey, everyone. Guess I should introduce myself. Well, to start with, I know my way around a battlefield. Biggest strengths are honesty and hard workingness. Anyway, point is, I don't intend to let Lauma down. I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep every last one of you safe and sound.
Something on your mind?
Miss Columbina, was it? I believe that's how the others addressed you.
That's right. Names are funny things. Have you always been called Dainsleif?
Yes. I take it your own name has a more complicated history.
I have a different relationship with names than other people. To be honest, I'm not even sure that Columbina is my name. At least, not in the same way that Dainsleif is yours. But it's what everyone calls me, and I go along with it. A lot of my life has been that way. I get so used to things that I forget to question why they are so. I never used to think much about where names come from, or what they mean to people. Maybe something's wrong with me.
You're different from other people. I sensed it the first time we met.
You're more perceptive than most. I'm sure your long life and rich range of experience explains that. Do you ever find yourself missing Conria, Mr. Dainsleif?
Difficult to answer. I have dreamed of the past many, many times. Sometimes I'm fighting tooth and nail. Other times I'm lying on the ground, defeated. I don't recall any happy moments from that time. It has been too long.
Is that because hatred survives longer than love and affection?
That would not be for me to say. I make no excuses for the grudges I bear. But whatever the reason, I remember little that was beautiful or sentimental. Thank you for your help with the Rerir situation. Without your efforts, I never could have learned the hidden truth of his story.
You're welcome. I know he's your friend.
Friend? He betrayed me. And I never really understood what he was going through in life. Some friendship, that is.
Okay. So, do you plan to fight him with us? You see, you're torn. Now you know what really happened. You see the things he's done in a new light.
I need some time.
Of course. I completely understand. Anyone else in your position would feel conflicted too. Actually, I went through something similar myself recently. Something happened that changed my perspective on a situation. A situation I took for granted at the time, but now I feel very grateful for it.
You mean the Harbingers who still support you, even though you've left the Fatui?
Yes. I always thought they were only helping me because Harbingers are forced to work together. But then I abandoned them. A warrant was even put out for my arrest. And even now, they still support me. Which means I was wrong about them all along.
Clearly, they view you as a friend.
I feel a little guilty now. I regret not seeing her help for what it was, and not treasuring it. I see the guilt that you're feeling now, because I feel it too. Hopefully, talking about it will do us both some good. Have you noticed that the Traveler and Paimon are over there? I think they've been listening.
Huh. Shall we say hello?
Sure. Hello. Ah! They caught us!
I apologize for making you worry. No doubt you wish to know where I stand on the plan to take down the Recher of Solnari. I'm afraid I need a little time, but I will seriously consider joining you.
You will? Oh, thank you so much! Everyone will be so grateful to hear that!
They needn't be. This was something that I was going to have to face up to eventually.
That doesn't matter to them. They're grateful to you regardless. You can't control their gratitude, so just accept it. And then, have a think about whether you're willing to join us. It's nearly showtime! Let's go rendezvous with the others. You know the place.
Ah, you're earlier than I expected.
Hey, Flint's! Been waiting here long?
Not too long. I came a little early so I'd have some time to think.
Are you nervous about the battle?
Quite the opposite. I'm reminiscing on my past battles. When I was awakened by the Ratniki, I had not touched a weapon in many years. I felt like the battlefield was not where I belonged. But after waging war against the Wild Hunt for so long, I came to realize something. A life of absolute peace is simply not a possibility for me. My restless flame indicates that somewhere inside of me, there is a deep yearning to root out the evil in this world.
Oh, that doesn't sound like such a bad thing.
Well, in the past, when I was a Fae whose primary concern was hibernation, it was hardly ideal. But it certainly serves me well here in the present. And I am delighted to be able to join forces with you in this endeavor.
Looks like I'm not the first to arrive.
Ah, Miss Lauma.
Did you sleep okay last night?
I struggled to settle down at first, because of the nerves. But don't worry. I got enough sleep in the end. I'll be just... Please. I'm just doing my part.
Never! Over here!
Aino asked me to relay a message. She said Anefa will be on high alert and keep a close watch over all secondary districts where defense is required, providing support as necessary. Meanwhile, Aino herself will provide range support to us directly, using her latest invention.
Excellent. My thanks to all involved.
The chess set's looking a little unstable.
It won't hold him much longer. We should be prepared to engage at a moment's notice.
No sense sitting around waiting. Let's make the first move while we still have the option.
I agree. Paimon, find a safe hiding place.
Got it! Be careful, Traveler!
I will.
Everyone, take your positions as soon as the battle starts. Every ounce of strength we have in our bones, let us bring to this fight.
Ready?
Let's go.
I've seen all your futile ploys before. You have become the authors of your own demise.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
You are merely a moment of sport before I tear down the moon.
Stay on
Moonlight betrays
Yep, you too.
Let me help you guys.
Futile.
Absurd. Can't hide the truth. It all falls into place.
Forest, protect us.
Moonlight betrays you.
Close your eyes. Night falls.
One heart, we pray. The poor lost lamb.
It all adds up. Let's see tomatoes.
The moonlight
No more lies.
betrays you.
It all falls into place.
Began with the moon, and so shall it end.
The moon will protect you. Leave this place.
Do you see now?
Protect us.
Be silent from here. When will it be as you foretold?
Leave this place.
Welcome here.
Wipe out!
It all adds up. No more lies. Let's see tomatoes. Seek within.
Futile hunting.
It all adds up. No more lies.
Hunt him down.
Forest, protect us.
The long sleep beckons. Close your eyes. Night falls.
By the frost moon of old. Receive my book. A grave trend.
Futile.
How unfortunate. It all falls into place.
Your little game of heroics is over. Who wants to go first? No. Get out of my sight!
No, we've been separated.
Will it take?
You okay?
Never. Where are the others?
Stuck outside the barrier. I guess he really doesn't like us.
I told you before. Knowing too much is always a death sentence.
Be careful what you wish for.
Mama! Can you hear me?
Silence.
But at least I know they're still there. I need to focus. Stick to the plan. Remember my most important task. Just keep stalling him. If I can stall him for long enough, the moment will come.
Can't hide the truth. Push your luck. No more lies.
Go!
It all falls into place. No more lies. Time to come clean. The deception ends here. It all adds up. Let's see what you're made of. No more lies. It all adds up. Let's see what you're made of.
Go! Wipe out!
There's no other way.
The only way to defeat Rarer is to borrow his own power. That means Columbina will have to disappear while you two bear the brunt of his attacks. You have to hold on. Find a way to keep him focused on killing the two of you.
Nefer, your eyes are bleeding.
Soon you will be powerless to resist. And then, I will reduce you to dust.
But that dust will plague your memories. Come on, keep holding on.
Any other tricks up your sleeve? Let's see them. As entertaining as they are. You've backed yourself into a corner.
You don't fool me. I see your fear clear as day. I have to stoke his rage. Make him unleash everything. You fear what you could never defeat. You fear the thought of never being able to save your beloved. You cannot win the fight against fate, Rarir.
Is that what you think? Well, now it's your turn to feel afraid!
You fear the sound of your own name?
Is it us you hate? Or is it what you've become?
Let's see what becomes of you! What's happening? That power. I've seen it before.
His power is on another level. We'll need to use an alchemical array to convert his power into a usable form. Then quickly channel it into Columbina, rendering her powerful enough to compete with him.
I'll join you. I can help. If I release enough abyssal energy into a confined space, it'll create a potential difference, allowing us to extract a huge amount of elemental energy. Next, I'll synchronize with everyone's minds using Pyro, then give you temporary access to their abilities and fields of view. But it won't last long. Can you see?
Well enough.
So, we have a student of Gold Rheindotter in our midst.
How about that?
my own power against me?
Just like how you stole Kuvaki. Look familiar?
Don't you realize? You don't have the power to hold that gate open!
I don't, but someone else does.
Goodbye, Rerir.
We won.
Nefer, how are your eyes?
They're fine. Apart from the blindness, of course.
It's not too late.
Let me handle it. Miss Nefer, it's not like you to lose your composure. That was the most reckless thing I've ever seen you do.
Reckless how? The situation was critical. Our lives were at stake. We had to do something.
Even so. Okay. I guess you're right. Under the circumstances, it was a wise decision. You traded your eyes for an incredible victory. In business terms, I suppose that's a huge return on investment.
I'd be hard-pressed to argue otherwise.
Still, I don't like this outcome, and I don't want you to lose your sight for good. People suffer when they make sacrifices they shouldn't have to make, whether that means faith, strength, or in this case, your ability to even see. I had hoped you could win without sacrificing so much as a single hair on your head.
Thank you. Really.
All done. Don't try and open your eyes just yet. We'll see how you're doing in a couple of days. Until then, please follow your recovery plan to the letter. I'll send full details through Yehoda. For now, just get yourself home, relax, and rest. My dear friends, we have fought bravely and achieved a spectacular victory. A dark cloud has been lifted from the skies of Nodkrai. All in this land will be grateful for what you have done.
The moon will remember this day. Thank you both. There's something I want to let you know.
What is it?
When Durin connected everyone's minds so I could access their powers, I also felt everything they felt. And since Nefer's eyes were injured, my eyes are hurting now too.
Hold on. Let me try.
I only feel the pain. There's no actual damage. I just thought I should tell you.
You're right. There's no damage. That's a relief. But I must say, I'm surprised to hear the Kutar share something like this with me. In the past, you never used to open up about yourself.
Things are a little different now from how they were. I'm learning to share how I truly feel with my friends.
Friends? You have no idea how glad I am to hear that.
How you feeling? Any aches and pains? Did you sleep well?
I'm doing all right, Paimon. No need to worry about me.
Phew. Well, that's good. Paimon's been sitting on the edge of the bed worrying about you for ages. You slept a whole day and night. Poor Paimon had to eat all by her lonesome.
Glad to hear you didn't starve. How was the food?
Well, it wasn't the same without you there to share it. Honestly, Paimon just can't relax when you're not your usual self. She couldn't enjoy the food and settle down to sleep.
Well, I'm back to normal now.
Oh yeah, and Albedo swung by earlier. He said to tell you to head to the tavern when you woke up. Varker and the others are organizing a victory feast and they want to celebrate with you. He also dropped off some medical supplies, but you seem fit as a fiddle, so guess you won't be needing those. If you're feeling up to it, let's head over now. Wouldn't want to keep them waiting. We're here!
Oh, Traveler and Paimon! Perfect timing! We were literally just saying how there's no way we're holding this victory feast without you any longer, and we would have postponed it till tomorrow.
How are you feeling today?
Much better. Thanks. Don't worry about me.
Relieved to hear it. If that changes, just let me know. Happy to check you over at any time.
Yep, we're here for you. Anything you need, just let us know.
Oh wait, where's Nefer?
How are her eyes doing?
Nefer's right over there. I'm sure she'd love to catch up with you.
We're here!
Oh, Traveler and Paimon! Perfect!
How are you feeling
Much better.
Relieved to hear it.
Yep, we're...
Oh wait, where's Nefer?
How are her eyes doing?
Nefer's right over there. I'm sure she'd love...
Traveler, Paimon, are you recovering well? Turns out that moon chanter has some real talent after all. My eyes were mostly recovered after just a couple days rest. I can actually open them again now.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful. Lauma says not to strain your eyes while they're still healing.
Yes, thank you. I'm well aware.
Yehoda, could I borrow you for a moment? I could do with an extra pair of hands.
Oh, sure. Coming. Did you hear that? I gotta go help Lauma for a second. You guys chat among yourselves. I'll grab us some drinks on the way back. Paimon, you still like 'em sweet?
You bet! Make it extra sweet, because Paimon's earned it.
Sure thing.
The Raker of Solnari. Kind of a snake, don't you think? No, definitely a snake. A poisonous one who spewed his venomous hatred everywhere. Anyone who seeks revenge out of hatred for other people has become a snake. That's something my dad used to say. Perhaps. I'm sure it sounds like a very wise and open-hearted perspective to your ears. But me? I think hatred is a perfectly justifiable emotion. What else is left when everything you depended on in life gets stripped away? Something's gotta fuel that drive to keep on living. If you're worried about me, you can nip that in the bud. I'm not someone who gets stuck in the past. It's just... I suddenly feel like I was wrong to call my father a liar. He was just a fool. That's why the Academia turned their back on him, and why the other tribes ganged up on him. Oh, Father. How much better things could have been if you were a skilled liar. Look at the Ibis King. Thoth is a fiendishly cunning liar. And yet, strangely, he feels more like a father to me than my real dad ever was. He's never brought it up, but I'd bet he feels the same way. Why else would he give me the power to perceive the truth, while at the same time training me in the art of deception? Well, King Deshret banished him to Aru, which is essentially a prison, and posed 3 questions to him. He promised that he'd have his freedom if he could find the answers. His response was to take on a physical form and approach me, hoping that I could become his envoy and search for one of the answers on his behalf. Did he really think I'd fall for that? He's stuck there. He can't make me return what he gave to me. So that's enough for you to decide he's nice, is it? He's a prisoner, and he was scared. So he decided to perform some good deeds to win people's approval. He lives in fear because he's a deceiver. How is Rerir any different? You can't work as a spy your whole life and expect a happy ending. It's preposterous. Yet I can't say I don't understand it. Liars live in the darkness of their own making. But it's still human nature to want to go on living. They say that a liar's soul is the most worthless thing in the world. What do you think? Good. If you understand that, it means you're smart. And you see things objectively. If you ask me, the soul of a liar really is worth nothing. Because all they care about is themselves. For example, when something good falls into my lap, I don't go sharing the news around. Stops other people trying to steal it from me. So be it. They have sharp ears. I can't keep anything from them. Oh, is that what it looks like? Well, you all know my past now. And I can't simply eliminate everyone who knows too much. So I guess I just have to put up with you. For the foreseeable future, at least. When you find yourself in a situation you can't control, the safest play is to keep calm and start monitoring everyone involved like a hawk. In the intelligence world, you need to have a sense of perspective and play your hand accordingly. If you understand what's at stake, please ensure my secret is safe with you. I trust you'll respect my wishes as a friend. But don't forget, I will also be watching you like a hawk. Very good.
Oh wait! Now that the panic's over and we've all calmed down, Paimon suddenly remembered something. After all that build-up, our mystery ally never showed up even once!
Huh? Am I imagining things?
So, that close colleague who stayed behind with you? What's he been up to recently?
Don't know, don't care. I get more normal human interaction from hanging out with Bosco too than him. Although, now you mention it, he hasn't bothered me in a while. I wonder if...
If he's disappeared without a trace, it's the biggest gift he ever gave to the world. But I somehow doubt that's what's going on. He won't lie low forever. So we'd better stay on guard.
Ah, Lord Sangama Bay. How lovely to see you. I must thank you for the device you provided. It was an enormous help. Would I be right in thinking that it was developed by the Academia?
Why come and ask me when you clearly know already?
I mostly came to thank you.
That's more like it. A little gratitude goes a long way with Lord Sangama Bay. Play your cards right, and you might even stand a chance of becoming my long-term supplier.
The chance to work with such a kind and charitable investor as yourself would be a great honor for the curatorium.
Huh? Charitable? Who said anything about charity? First time hearing about it.
Let's see. The first plot of land you purchased in Nodkrai, your desert interests, and...
Stop! What do you think you're doing? Exposing my investment history!
It's nothing to hide from. They're all perfectly legitimate investments. And some of the land you purchased was with the intent of building a sanctuary? Yes, I heard about that too.
How did you...
You're a curious case, Lord Sangamabe. You don't like people finding out about your good deeds, do you? But I'm afraid no matter how hard you try to keep things under wraps, where there's a will, there's a way. You did it for Sumeru, didn't you?
It was empty land that was gonna go to waste otherwise. I figured if I built something there, it might at least get some use in an emergency. Disasters are capricious things. They strike without any warning. I've lost family to a disaster before, and I don't want to lose any friends or business partners if I can help it. My elder sister used to dream of finding a sanctuary. Somewhere with plenty of food, water, and medicine. Where everyone could live happy lives. It was something I looked into, but after discussing things with the Dendro Archon, I decided on a more effective strategy. The tech people handled the tech, and Moneybags provided the Mora. It just made the most sense.
It's a pity that so few people know the truth about you. Everyone says that you view everything in terms of Mora, and all you care about is growing your own wealth.
So, what's the problem with that? Everyone wants to be rich. It's human nature. So yes, I love Mora, and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
But surely you have dreams of your own beyond just making Mora.
You don't get it, do you? My dream is to invest in other people's dreams. And, you know, make a nice little slice for myself along the way. Just thinking about it makes me happy. That sweet, sweet sound of Mora.
Thank you.
For the device?
And the pendant.
Oh, that. I was just returning a favor. Don't worry about it.
Seems like we've both been away from home for a very long time.
Yeah. So long that I barely remember what my family even looked like.
That would be your mother, father, and sister?
Yeah, though it's been years since my sister passed away. It's not like I want to forget them, obviously, but memory can be even more ruthless than the most calculating business person. Beyond a certain point, if something isn't helping you, it just gets rid of it. My sister can't help me now. Slowly but surely, her face is fading from my mind's eye. It's become a vague impression.
Not everything will fade. When loved ones pass away, the beautiful memories are the ones that last the longest.
Yeah, that's true. If you ask me, that's the one silver lining in all of it.
Well, that, plus, I'm sure that life is much better now than it was back then.
Oh, absolutely. I have tons of Mora, a big beautiful house, business is booming, and I'm as happy as can be. You've got a lot going for you too. Boss of the Curatorium of Secrets? I'm sure there's plenty of Mora to be made in that line of work.
I appreciate the vote of confidence.
How have you been holding up? Any adverse reactions? If you start to take a turn for the worse, make sure you tell me right away.
You don't need to worry about me, Grandmaster. I'm fine. I mean, I barely did anything, so...
What? You're too humble, young man.
You played an indispensable role in the battle for Nodkrai. We can't thank you enough for your support. Sometimes, when people praise you, it's because you deserve it. The best thing is to accept it calmly and with grace. It's important to learn how to respond to words of admiration.
Let's do a quick demonstration. Albedo, that was an incredible feat of alchemy. The pressure was on, but you worked flawlessly at lightning speed to get the job done.
Thank you. I can't take all the credit, though. Durin played a big part in forming the alchemical array.
See? Did you catch that? A masterclass in how to take a compliment.
Okay, yeah. I did work pretty hard to help prepare for the battle. No point denying that.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, look who's bounced back. Looking good, Traveler.
Seems like you've recovered. You won't need to take any more medication.
Can I get you a drink?
Huh? You know how to order at a bar now? You've sure learned a lot recently.
Handling a drinks order is ridiculously simple compared to alchemy. Don't worry, I'll blend into society yet.
Paimon believes it. You're clearly a fast learner, just like your brother. To be totally honest, though, Paimon didn't quite follow all the details when you first explained the plan to us.
Don't worry, that's completely understandable. Unless you're a student of alchemy, it's hard to grasp the principle and how the process works.
To put it in the simplest terms, we saw how our enemy stole the power of Kuvaki. And that gave us the idea of stealing his power to turn it against him. When facing an enemy you have no hope of defeating, it's best not to engage them in battle. So, instead of looking for a way to overpower him, we decided to help Columbina get strong enough to at least stand up to him in a fight. For this to work, we had to analyze his modes of attack, confirm who his main target was, and make sure that he wouldn't go beyond the range of the alchemical array. For added security, we prepared a total of 4 arrays. But to mitigate the impact of the battle, we identified one location in particular as the ideal spot, which is where the confrontation took place. The alchemical array absorbed his abyssal power. Then Durin processed it to render it usable by Columbina. That power enabled her to do what would otherwise have been nigh on impossible.
What surprised me was that Dainsleif actually agreed to join us. Given his history with Rerir, he had every right to sit this one out. But we're extremely grateful for the decision he made.
It must have been a painful choice to make. But I'm sure that making a decision was far better for him than staying in limbo.
Absolutely. He was torn between 2 paths, but in the end, he made his choice and stuck to it resolutely. He doesn't strike me as the sort of person who'd stay trapped in limbo for long. Anyway, however you cut it, everyone gave a stellar performance. And now, it's time to kick back and
That's the only reason you're here. Yes. I've thought a lot about it. And I've realized that you, me, and Arlecchino should be friends. I think this is very important. So I felt I had to come and tell you. Well, this is a new one. I'm so moved. I can't even hold my teacup. If that's all, you can leave now. Do you not want to be friends with me? Or is it that you prefer being co-workers? What is this, Columbina? Are you deliberately testing my patience threshold? Right now, my politeness module is active. But if you say another word, I swear I'll shut it down. If your politeness module was active, wouldn't you say the word please at some point? Polonia, please see Lady Columbina to the door. Will you still invite me to your next tea party? What? Yes, I think you will. Bye-bye, dear Sandrone. Last time, the Wild Hunt escorted you out. Would you rather I handled it myself this time? We just wanted to, see how you were doing now that it's all over. Why? Out of concern for my safety? I hope you didn't seriously think that the Rayhir of Solnari would be able to lay so much as a finger upon me, given how prepared I was. Mostly because you kind of helped us out, so we just wanted to check you were okay. Looks like all your robots are fixed, huh?
Oh, don't you worry about that. Tea time is already a write-off. The visitor before you managed to kill my appetite. If you're in the mood for tea, go ahead and help yourself. Otherwise, it's going to waste. My coasters are still missing in action, though. Use this notebook instead.
Whoa! Pretty hefty notebook. Look at all those calculations.
You can ignore those. They're just dumb scribblings. I doodle and write in my free time. Sometimes I remember the distant dreamlike past. Sometimes I imagine the far-flung future. And other times, I grit my teeth and note down all the crazy nonsense going on in the present. Some people do the crosswords in the newspaper. This is my equivalent of that. Trying to predict the future is like daydreaming, and writing about the present just makes me furious. The past is my favorite. If nothing else, it's already set in stone, so I don't have to rack my brains trying to figure it all out. Huh. Although, having said that, the only vaguely interesting memory in my past is probably that guy they call Lord Artificer. Who else? Pretty much all the mecha in Fontaine are his personal handiwork.
Wait, are you saying you know him? Like, personally? As a friend?
I mean, I guess we were friendly enough. Yep. In fact, I'm probably the only normal person left who knew him at all. We used to chat occasionally back when he was still around. Before he passed away, he asked me to destroy all his manuscripts. I honored his request, but I did read through everything first before destroying them. I mean, I couldn't let the genius of Lord Artificer Alain Guillotin disappear like that. Would have been such a waste.
So, that's where the formulas in your notebook are from?
I just told you. Those are my equivalent of crossword puzzles. They're just dumb formulas that I solve for fun when I'm bored. Alain's work was like epic poetry. The formulas in my notebook are just silly little riddles in comparison. Not that there's anything bad about them. I mean, at least, solving those riddles isn't going to hurt anyone. Except me, 'cause I lose a few brain cells in the process. Anyway, while we're on the topic, I might as well tell you about what happened to him and his friends. Alain Guillotin had two close buddies, Renee and Jacob. They spent their childhood years together in the Narzissenkreuz Institute. They were all quite competitive, so there was some rivalry between them, but it was a friendly rivalry. But beneath the friendship and the rivalry ran something deeper, a sense of nostalgia for the past. Unfortunately, childhood would end. The prophecy would come true, the apocalypse would arrive, and the future would never be. A mad dream that would normally only capture the minds of lunatics began to take root in their hearts. A dream of saving the world. And if Renee and Alain had been people of lesser wits, that dream would probably have ended up as something for them to joke about in their older years. But alas, they were some of the sharpest minds around. They nurtured that dream with the full power of their intellect, and it grew into something that ate away at their souls. The first of them to fall under its spell was Renee. Against Alain's wishes, he persisted in experimenting on a mutual friend of theirs to try and save their life. Alain did not approve and parted ways with Renee. It's complicated. Alain wanted to believe that Renee only did what he did for the sake of their friendship. But when he told me about what happened, I could tell he still had some suspicions about Renee's motives. Perhaps the seed that would grow into a nightmare had already sprouted in Renee's mind. Even then. The next time they met, Renee's soul had been completely engulfed by the dream of salvation. His futile attempt to change the tide of fate only resulted in a wave that swallowed up the world, even before the apocalypse came. And although that wave died down eventually, I hear that it just recently came back with a vengeance. As I understand, Renee wanted to live out his dream of salvation once more. But I'm told that the attempted resurgence finally died out for good. At long last, Renee awoke from his deluded dream. Though of course by then it was far too late. What do you think of Renee? Do you admire his transcendent genius? His view that any price was worth paying to achieve the lofty goal of saving the world? Or do you despise him? Dismiss him as an evil madman who wrought havoc on the lives of everyone around him as he pursued his delusional dream? Same difference, really. Just a matter of perspective. What a cop-out. But I suspect you'd have a more incisive and insightful answer if we dug into it further. I don't like fanatics who give up their whole lives for their ideology. Nor do I like fools who let their delusions take control. Maybe I could understand if Renee had just been an ordinary person. But he had a sage-like intellect. And still managed to get himself lost in the labyrinth of his own desires. Anyway, that's enough about Renee. Now, moving on to Alain Guillotin, the Lord Artificer. He managed to put a stop to the first storm whipped up by Renee. But after that, Alain lost his friends and family. To his credit, I suppose, the loss of his family and friends was purely a tragic accident. It's not like Alain sacrificed them for his cause or anything. After that, the only thing supporting his work was the same dream that had dragged his closest friend down to the abyss. But although the desire to save Fontaine drove him to found the Fontaine Research Institute, Alain continued to reject any form of transcendental knowledge or power. He was suspicious and fearful of it, having seen the way it had affected his closest friend. I think that formulas and machines derived solely from human intellect were the only thing that gave him a sense of spiritual comfort. Yet Alain's intellect was simply too great. It barely left him space to breathe in his lifetime. Once he realized that the end of his life was approaching, he finally accepted the truth. The Nazissenkreuz Institute needed someone, and a human being, to see its story through to the end. He quit working on his formulas, trading them in for the fairy tales that had played such a formative role in his childhood, but which he barely touched in his adult life. He told me that the director of the Nazissenkreuz Institute used to read those fairy tales to the children as bedtime stories. Apparently, they worked wonders at sending kids off to sleep. I think that all he wanted at that time in his life was to be able to sleep deeply without being plagued by depression. By that point, nothing else really mattered. At the very end, he laid down to rest in the ruins of the former Nazissenkreuz Institute orphanage, while the Fontaine Research Institute he had founded continued tirelessly with its work. Many years after that, tensions over competing dreams would once again cause a rift, this time between members of the Fontaine Research Institute. But the actions of those fools had nothing at all to do with Alain. And that is the story of two people from the Nazissenkreuz Institute who both wanted to save the world. One went all in on his fantasy of salvation without ever looking back, and ended up calmly sinking to the bottom of the deepest sea. The other sought desperately to burn bright in his life, even though he wasn't sure where he was going. I do sometimes wonder, why is it that people like them have such grand hopes of saving the world? Even the grandest tree starts as a tiny seed. So perhaps, for each of them, their mission to save the world began with a very simple desire: to save themselves. They were young children with friends and family who mattered to them, desires to explore the meaning of life, ambitions to have a successful career. They didn't want to see all of that taken away in one fell swoop. Or maybe they just wanted to find something to anchor themselves within the chaos, to stop them getting quietly swept away by the storms of life. But instead, the search for their own salvation took them down the rocky road laid out by fate. Do you think the desire to save oneself is enough of a justification to try and save the world. The way you said that sounded just like Alain. I asked him the same question back when he was in his prime, putting all of his energy into his work. He gave the exact same answer as you did. No elaboration, just a quick short answer before getting right back to his work. He was always that way. All right, tea time's over. I owe Arlecchino a favor for telling me these stories. I'll have to bring a whole sack of gifts the next time I visit the House of the Hearth. I'm gonna go tinker with Polonia now. You guys can do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't involve interrupting me. Polonia, exit hibernation mode. Begin diagnostics.